Muted. Hello, folks. Hi, Nightmare. Nah, so now I screwed it all up. Hi, Nightmare. What's up, folks? Hope everybody had a good week. Hanging in there. We got Sunday, one more weekend for those who only worked a week. I hope everybody is good, truly. Pretty casual day today. I've been working. We're down and did some work with my dad's sister. So it's been a busy day. Smoochie. You will not be muted? Okay. I'm used to being muted. I get muted all the time. I don't mind. As long as somebody says something important or I'll be dumb. Either way, it's good. You won't hear me complain. I hope everybody, like I said, is good. I'm going to say that a couple times until I get settled in. See, we're going to do the other half of the one I did last week. Our first 2 Black Eyed Kids uploads, so it should be pretty good. It's old, so she's still using the phone, so it's going to be a little screen. And this one was recorded, looked like around Halloween, so. Other than that, it'll be kind of cute. I didn't started to watch it, and I was saving for sometimes like the preview, but it's been so long since I've watched something because this is 3 years old. Remember, folks, it's 3 years old. So, and I'll do that here in a little bit. I might start a little early. We'll see how things go. Usually I try to start the upload or the replay about 12:30 or so. Get people come in, talk. As for what's coming up, of course, we know about Gone Book 3. It went to #1, bestseller. So keep it up, folks. It's a good book. And then Campfire Stories 3 is out. Check that out. Those are all encounters, listener encounters and stuff. So that should be good. Oh, cool. So check those books out and go back. And if you don't have the other ones, check them out. My favorite actually is her first book. The Fae book is one of my favorites. I like the counter stuff though. So you can draw me in if the book ain't nothing but encounters. But I love a good story too. Yeah, I know, Smoochie. I was there. Believe it or not, I was there. I've been around for a while. Changed names a couple times. Well, actually, it was Stephen Lee Davis. Then I switched to DragonZW for a long time. That's why some people come in here and say that. And then when I met Black Dragon, and everybody kept saying Dragon in chat, I wasn't used to that, so I put the ghost on mine so we could know the difference. Out of respect to him. So yeah. But yeah, and then I don't know if nothing's coming out. I'll be here Wednesday. Tuesday talk will be starting probably the second week, around the second week of September. So we'll be back then at 1:00. But I'll be here Wednesday at midnight for a spooky time. Thursday, I'm not sure yet if me and Ryan are going to do anything or not. We'll have to wait and see. We kind of put a hold on some of that, and it gives me a little break. So then Friday, of course, me and Gemma, or Gemma and I call him Shenron. I love that. I love that name and that dragon. What can I say? I like those. I like the serpentine dragons, the flying serpentine dragons. They're more mystical to me. But I do like winged dragons too. Anyways, and then I'll be back Saturday for Gemma's replays as long as I can do them. I kind of leave those nights, or my nights, I never know how I'm going to feel. So it's all if I can talk without stuttering or not sit and, well, let's put it this way. It's not sit here and do this and look like I do anyways, but believe me, it can be a lot worse. But yeah. So that's the schedule. And a lot of things will change after little man goes back to school. So be prepared. Help her get those books. Please, right now, donations are a big help. We keep the channel running and we want to expand. And she wants to expand. I'm just in the background. I shouldn't say we, it's her. Someday I may walk away and float away somewhere. So let's get her rocking. Puff the Magic Dragon. You know, Smoochie, our dog, is named Puff. We call him Puff the Magical Dog. He's got a white down his forehead, and it splits off like two little horns. Anyways, and that's it for the schedule. So once about the second week of September or so, you'll start seeing some changes. She's going to do some cool things, so that will be cool. I'm ready. I want to see her rock and roll this channel. I may go ahead and start my channel. I'm going to do a channel on my own, but I'm going to do it over on Rumble. So, folks, on Rumble, just keep your eyes peeled. I'll let you know when it happens because it's going to happen soon. Start off with a couple of videos, and then once I figure out how to live stream and get it down pat there, you might see me do a live stream or two over there. Be a little bit more me. So I'm a little more tame here than you think I am. So, like I said, the video tonight is Black Eyed Kids 2 Part 2. It's one of the very first set of Black Eyed Kids she did 3 years ago. So like I said, she's using her phone. So it's going to be that little square down the center. But it's cute. I watched the first couple minutes of it, and it does look like it was done around Halloween. So I'm sure, I think if you click on the date on a thing, you can click the date. Hey, Mike, behold, what's up? So the gang's coming in, so that's why I stall. How you doing, Mike? You enjoying these 3 days? I hope you are. I'm trying not to be too loud. My dad's in the room next. But yeah. So come on in, have a seat, chat with some friends for a bit before we start the upload, and then we'll hang out a little bit afterwards. I have to say Edna's name 3 times. Edna, Edna, Edna. Wake up, woman. It's hard to believe I've known Edna for so long. A bunch of you. But Edna, wow. I think she's one of the first people I ever met online. Auntie, come hit there. But she had her little grandson the other day. So she said she was pretty pooped out. Oh, that's right. You know, she's at the beach. I forgot. She's at the beach. They left for the beach the other day. So she is at the beach. She is happy and content. That's a good thing. I forgot about her going to the beach. So, Mike, you don't have to worry tonight. Edna's not going to be here unless she surprises us. Which I doubt. I'm glad she's having fun. Everybody else. But, Mike, are you enjoying those 3-day weekends? That's the one thing I did like about that shift. And then they put me back on days, and it was Monday through Friday. And sometimes Saturdays. I was asked to tone my joking entrance down so no more thunder. And why? Who said that? Who asked you to tone it down? I said, man. Who asked you to turn it down, man? I never did. I think it's great. I love it. We love that, Mr. Behold. Oh, I don't think Gemma would have told you because she loves it too. Pixie. Pixie did? Oh, come on. Did she really win? I don't get that. It's kind of hard to believe, but I don't know. Well, it's welcome here, Mike. Pixie's okay, but I don't know. Was I there? Sometimes I get to watching, and when I'm in background when she's on, I'm trying to watch you guys, but I'm also doing other things because only nights I really am off now is Sundays and Mondays. Oh, I bet you are loving your 3-day weekends. I loved them too. That was one thing I did enjoy because what I'd do is I'd get off at 2 Thursday night, come home, hang out a little bit. I do anyways because I don't sleep. But I would go to sleep probably about 8, 9 o'clock, get about an hour or two in before my body says nope. And then hang out all day. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Get work done, fiddle around. A lot of times the kids are always in some kind of sport, so and fishing. Barbecue time and fishing. That's the way to look at it. Yeah, you need a barbecue time and fishing time. Me and my poor dad, we've been just on the go, and he wants to get out so bad, and I want to take him. He wants to go on a boat, but I just can't see that guy standing on a boat. I just can't see it. I'd be afraid he'd fall in. Bless his heart. His legs ain't as steady as they used to be. But yeah, we want to go. Just we never get time. Everything. Now I'm hungry. Yeah, we had Japanese tonight. Always enjoy the Japanese. Me too. I want to catch and release. Now, there's stuff that I've got caught and ate, but they were in a different area. I knew it was clean. But yeah, I'm pretty much the same way, Mike, catch and release. We went trout fishing in Colorado. And so we had trout that night. That was good. That's probably one of the few times actually, other than catfish. But see, catfish you got to watch. But this was pond catfish out in the middle of nowhere. I know there was no runoff from pollutants and farmyard and all that stuff. And it was good. But other than that, yeah, catch and release. Eat release. Why are you not blue? I'm about to kill this. Hey, now watch the K word, okay? Ruffles chip. Just be glad they're not Cheetos because, Ryan will come in here and steal your Cheetos. I'm hoping he pops in. He's been kind of laying low, taking it easy. Yeah. That's crazy. But yeah, we'll get started here. What time we got now? We got 8 people in here waiting patiently. Thank you, folks. Be patient. Well, like I said, I usually give it about 12:30 when I start it. I know a lot of you come in to watch the video, so I think that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for just hanging out, too. Cheetos 3 times. Don't say Cheetos 3 times. Yeah, he will come running. Yeah, he's taking it easy. Just hanging out on Facebook. He's just kind of chilling, so I talked to him a little bit ago. He might pop in. You never know with Ryan. But I'm sure he is coming back with us. So, and I think she has some things in store. She does want to do her ladies' night, which I think is a cool idea. Have you and her and some ladies on and gab it up for a while. That would be interesting. And fun too, probably. So, yeah. Hey, Infinite, what's up? What's up? Thank you for stopping by. I'm hanging out. I'm going on ladies' night Wednesday night. Wednesday night? Oh, is that when they have late? That's right. Here, that's when they have ladies' nights too. It's Wednesday night. It's funny to go. A friend of mine, he was kind of a womanizer. He goes, let's go out tonight. And I go, okay. This was right before I got married. And so we go over to this bar way on the east side. And I go, what are we waiting out here for? Isn't the bar open? He goes, yeah, but we can't go in until after 10. And I go, why? She goes, it's ladies' night. I said, okay. All of a sudden, you see all these guys lining up at the door. He goes, yeah, they have, ladies' night. I'm like, what do you mean? They're all wound up now. They've had male strippers in there. And I started laughing. I go, you horny dog. Oh, that's nice of her, Smoochie. That's cool. Go have fun. You need it. Go have fun. Go let it out. Go let some steam off. It's always good to do once in a while. Just be careful. Be safe. That's all we ask. Misbehaving for a reason. Well, I'm asking you to behave a little bit. Just be safe. I know you live up to the name, so I'm not going to yell at you or get mean with you, but just be safe. Have fun. Be safe. So I wish they would have made a left hand or right hand in the same color as the dragon head, because then you could put the dragon head in the middle. But no, they don't think like that. Not drinking much. I'm usually the designated driver because I drink coffee or water. Don't get our don't say it, Mike. Don't curse her. Well, there's a reason I call her misbehaving. So good. Coffee with Amaretto. Actually, it's not bad. It doesn't even actually sound bad right now. Actually, when I do drink, I like stiff drinks. I do like a good dry or wet martini. Love my vodka, so Long Island iced teas. Do like a 7-7 once in a while. I make my own mixed drinks. I don't have no name for them. Just things I've concocted over the years that I like. But yeah, I'm usually a coffee drinker most of the time. Yeah, I'm the guy that drives. Everybody knows to invite me because I'll just sit and drink water and coffee all night. But I can't say anything because they usually feed me. They won't let me pay for anything. So I usually get a good snack bowl in front of me. Watch them act like fools. But it's fun. And it gets me out of the house. I haven't done that for a while, though. I haven't been out for a while. But I've been on the go, go, go. Yes, she would be. Yes, she would be. You need to go out and have fun. Do you some good, woman. Do you some good, woman. As long as you are fed. Yeah, I was fed. And somebody always got me something. Or they pay for my coffee. Sorry. Or if we didn't eat there on the way home, everybody get the munchies. So we'd stop at White Castle's. I'd always come in the door with a bag of White Castles. So I never complained. Plus, it's nice being with them. And like I said, it's fun watching people get drunk. I mean, I've been drunk too many times, but in the day, but I was never really a big drinker. So, but it's fun to watch everybody else get lit. And Chili's my favorite restaurant. Oh, Chili's. Most of them are gone around here. There's not too many of those left around here in Ohio. They just closed all the Charlie's down. Oh, Charlie's. Yeah, the Oh, Charlie's. Most of them are gone now. Most of the Red Lobsters are gone. So they just put a brand new Longhorn down the street here where my old Bonanza used to be. So, and it's doing pretty good. I know it's got a bar and all that. So, and then there's a Macy's Pizza. Closing on your Sonics. Now we have one Sonics. The first for a long time, the only Sonics we had around here was clear down in Athens, on the way to Athens, south of here. And then now we have a Sonics maybe 10 minutes away from me, 20, depending on traffic, just before you hit campus on Old Tangy. Over by my old restaurant over there, because I worked at two Bonanzas, one in Graceland and one in Old Tangy, just right down the street, literally catty corner from the hospital, from Riverside Hospital. You want to drink? So I don't mind beer, but I like dark beer or amber beer. But other than that, I don't drink a whole lot of beer. I was never a big beer guy. And in high school, I was like one of two people, seniors, that could buy alcohol, because we both turned 18 just at the beginning of the year. And he didn't drink and he didn't do any of that stuff. So we went to him. So everybody came to me to get the cake. So I get 3-2 beer. So you get a couple gates, you get a good drink off of it. Mick Light. I don't mind a Mick Light once in a while. My regular beer choice would have probably been Coors Light. I don't know what it is for you guys, but here Schaefer's is considered a really cheap beer. It's like a 6-pack was like $2. And then we go to Florida for spring break, and Schaefer's is like a premium beer there. It was like $6. I was like, holy crap. Smoochies, brewskis. Yep, and it sure did. Hey, Jarvis. We have 4 Chili's and 5 of Charlie's. Yeah, no, both of those are pretty much gone up here, Chris. Yeah, they're pretty much gone up here now. And hello, you hanging tight in that house, but how many weeks you got left? Hopefully you can get out early. Make it worth it, get out of there early. They were supposed to hold, when they did my right hip, they wanted me to stay in this nursing home for 2 months. I'm like, that's not happening. I was out in 2 weeks. So I'm out of here. I'm gone. I don't need you guys. 3 more. 3 more you already. Yeah, it's been about a week. You said 4 weeks, right? So you're down to 3 now. Let's see if we can send you something to keep you busy. I've been looking, actually. What do you like to do, Chris? 3 weeks. I think the longest I was in the hospital was a month. That sucked. And that sucked bad. 4 weeks is a month for you, so you're there. You're halfway there. But a month. If you can get out early, try. Oh, you was there for 6 weeks? Holy crap. Yeah, I've had both hips replaced, Smoochies, from the rocking and getting the just other things that I was crazy at. So we need Sammy to come give you an autograph. There you go. Kid, I felt bad for him. He said 6 weeks, man. I feel bad for you, Chris. Man, that sucks. Like I said, month was the longest I was in, and I hated it. I know you rock, girl. I love that rock. Sammy the Boo. I was kind of hoping you would talk about Sammy Hagar. I've met him twice. Once when he was with Montrose, and I was just a little kid, and he actually remembered me when I went and saw him with Hagar, Van Hagar. Van Halen, when he was with Van Halen. We called him Van Hagar. I think you probably all heard that. Yeah, we were in the concert, and it was like second row back. I'm standing there. He looks down, looks at me again. Goes, do I know you? I said, he goes, yeah, I know you. And I go, how do you know me? I said, I am a nobody. Because you were a brother with your brothers, right? And I said, yeah. And I was just a little kid. I was like 9, 10 years old. And he goes, you haven't changed. I go, what? And I came home with a hat and everything. But he remembered 2 brothers bringing their little brother with him to a rock show. I guess it doesn't happen a whole lot. I guess that's true because I took my kids to go see Government Mule. If you guys who they are, Government Mule. I took my kids to go see them because I'd won tickets. I'd won a bunch of tickets to a bunch of shows, but that was actually the only show I could take them to was the hippie show. And we walk in, everybody's like, that dad brought his kids. I mean, my 3 kids are with me. And Sammy asked if we can get closer. Next thing I know, Lily, the people just opened like the Red Sea parted. And we walked right up to the stage and everyone around us talking to us like, I can't believe you brought your kids. Yeah, good. I think they're still around too. I think they are still around. But yeah, it was a good concert. Kids loved it. Yeah, they had a blast. Even they made them room for the girls to dance and stuff. They had a blast. I think Ashley was probably, I think Ashley was 12. Sammy was 10. No, Sammy was 11. No, Ashley was 12. Sammy was 10. And Giles was 7. He's like 3 years younger. A few years younger than the girls. He was a good thing to have because we were trying for another boy. My dad had all boys, so he was happy that everybody was popping out girls, but I wanted a boy. And she miscarried really bad. And they didn't think she'd be ever have kids. Next thing I know, I looked at her one day and go, "You're pregnant." I told her before she even checked. Then they both died on the operating table for like a minute, 2 minutes. But it might have been longer than that because I was there screaming at them, "Don't you leave with 2 girls? Don't you do it? Both of you better get your butts back here." Next I know, me. Yeah, let's do this. You guys ready for let's do this video. Okay, let me get it set up. I'm rambling. You guys are talking. I don't want to lose anybody, but I am going to start the video now. Let's see, right here. Stop. You're talking too fast, Gemma. I gotta. Get up there so I can adjust it. Ooh. Okay, let me get this popped in here. Hey, John P, how you doing, sir? Hugs back to you. Hospital. You know, like I said, the last hospital I stayed at, man, the food was awesome. I didn't want to leave. It was actually better than what I was making at home. Entrees for each meal, same crap every day. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, we need to find a way to get you a good care package. If I have to bring it down, I'm gonna do some looking because I've been looking for something to keep you busy while you were sitting in there. King's X. Yes, I do remember King's X. You remember the gods? The gods, rock and roll machine. Yeah, he lived. Eric Moore lived right up the road from me. He was a pretty nice guy. I didn't know he had passed. Didn't even know. He'd been gone for a while. I didn't even know. And then there was. See, these are local bands though. Except for Fairweather, he was out of Cleveland. He would put on like the old Genesis shows when Peter Gabriel was with him, and then he would go into more 80s stuff. Had costumes and all. It's actually pretty good shows. I have my computer and cigarettes to keep me busy. Yeah, I know. They let you smoke? Are you sneaking out? Did they really out? Did they let you get air? Did they move you around or are you stuck flat on your back? Other than to go to the bathroom. We opened for in 2001 they first got signed to Metal Blade. Oh, really? Oh, way cool. Long time ago. I was in a punk band, but we didn't do anything. Just senior bashes and stuff like that. But yeah, I did. I banged on the bass. I didn't play. I just banged on it. We were a punk band. We got away with it. Them. Way cool. Way cool. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. And hopefully, I can talk and chat while it plays. 1 second. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, Mike. That's a good thing. Are they doing it in like time frames? I mean, you're not on it the whole time, right? Oh, I bet they are. A lot of them are really nice people. You get a couple. Now, Eddie, when he introduced me to Eddie, it was funny because we got backstage and everything. The guy I was with was freaking out. And said, I got pregnant. I was with Montrose. We were in Columbus. These two guys come in. He goes, your brother was real tall, and your two older brothers. One was tall and one was probably a little shorter with almost no hair. And I go, yeah. I remember you because you were jamming, man. Yeah, well, I like that song, Mad Motor Scooter. So. But yeah, most of them. It's like I met Ronnie James Dio. Man, that guy remembers names. I met him 3 or 4 times here in Columbus. He was super nice guy. Super nice guy. One of the probably nicest rockers I ever met. You heard about Steven Tyler, right? He has no voice. They had to cancel the rest of the shows. He's probably done. Good times, yes. Good times. The good old days. When I wasn't too bad when I got a little, so I didn't have to worry about what I was seeing in front of me and following what was following who, I should say. But yeah, I went to many shows. I used to have a whole box. We used to live driving here in Ohio. It's one of the reasons why I got some of the encounter stories I got at like diners and stuff and camping, because we would go to like Dayton, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and catch the local bands all the time. But yeah, there's good old days. Let's start this sucker. Okay, Black Eyed Kids Part 2, 3 years old. Folks, enjoy it. I'm going to mute my mic once I start, and then hopefully you guys will be able to hear it just fine. Screen on. Share. Drop this down. Make sure that's big enough. Looks good for you guys. Let me move out of the way. Get myself out of you guys' way. Looks good. Picture in the background shows too. That's cool. All right, here we go. Why didn't you play? Oop, no sound. Okay, that's me. Oops, wrong one. Dumb.
Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, just welcome.
You guys may have to turn this up. Her mic is real soft on this one.
Black Eyed Kids or Black Eyed.
I'll start it over. So you guys can adjust your mics, or your head, your sound.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, just welcome. My name is GemmaJade, and tonight we are recounting stories of the BEK, Black Eyed Kids or Black Eyed Children. If you haven't seen the first video, I'll put it right here, but be sure after you watch that one to pop back in and watch this one. These are pretty interesting. I have a personal account from a friend of mine, so that's really cool to hear him recount his story personally instead of having to read it, even though reading it's just as fun. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to actually read my script out tonight just because it's a little bit easier. It'll help me.
Actually, I think this is not much after a little while after he just had little.
So let's just dive right in. As I sit writing this, it's about 6 o'clock in the morning and still super dark out here in northern New Jersey. As I drink my coffee and smoke my vape, I can't help but feel the fear creeping into me as I sit at my dining room table reading these stories and typing on my little Chromebook. My chair facing the huge uncovered bay windows with my front door, also with a large uncovered window on it, staring back at me to the right. A BEK's dream come true, in other words, nothing to hide behind when they come calling. Let's start with a brief summary of what the BEKs are and what they do, how they approach you, so to speak, and what to look for. According to Wikipedia, they are, quote, an American contemporary legend of paranormal creatures resembling children between the ages of 6 and 16, with pale skin and black eyes, who are reportedly seen hitchhiking or panhandling or are encountered on doorsteps of residential homes, end quote. So, making the assumption here that you are at least a little bit familiar with this phenomenon, or if you're not, and you went back and watched my part 1 video, let's get started. Let's jump right in. The first story I want to recount comes from a good friend of mine. He recently shared this story on YouTube in a guest spot he did in a Halloween special for another YouTube channel, and he actually gave me permission to retell it on my channel. He actually requested that I do. The first thing he states before recounting his story is that every time he recounts the story, something sinister and unexplained happens to him. He's part Cherokee, which so am I, and he states how he's always reluctant to retell of any kind of paranormal encounters that he has, including the BEK, because of the old Native American legends about how if you speak of things like this out loud, you could be inviting it to you. And I totally believe that, which makes me even more scared. It's actually nighttime now that I'm filming. I'm home alone. So let's hope we don't get a knock. Sometimes that's the scariest thought of all for me. What kind of juju am I bringing upon myself in retelling these tales? This story that I'm about to recount can be heard told in the first person point of view of the victim, because yes, I believe anyone a BEK approaches is definitely a victim. They're usually traumatized, their pets are never the same again, and sometimes they're never the same again. So it can be heard on the Missing Persons and Mysteries YouTube channel, and the title of the video is Black Eyed Kids Stories / Halloween Special. Again, I have no clue how to link things in the description box, so you guys are just going to have to figure out how to search Missing Persons and Mysteries and look for the BEK Halloween Special. So here it is. This is Steve Stockton's BEK story. Hi, Steve. Hope I can make you proud and do you justice. Steve says he was leaving work late one night, super late. He had a freelance job at the time and would go in and work after regular employees all left for the day. So he finishes his work and he says he left the building at about 2 o'clock in the morning and was carrying some things, equipment and tools and the things he used to work, to his car, which at the time was one of those little tiny Mazda Miata convertibles. These cars are just 2-seaters, by the way. They're super small. He reminds us that the place he is working at is in a very industrialized area. There are no residential homes at all. So as his hands are full of all of his work equipment that he's going to try to put into this tiny little car, he says he notices that, quote, way over at the edge of the parking lot, there's 2 little girls sitting on the curb, end quote. It immediately struck him how strange and uncommon this was, keeping in mind the area and also the time of night or day. It's 2 a.m. The top happened to be down on his tiny little Mazda Miata, so he just started loading things into the trunk. He joked that the trunk in these cars is, quote, not much bigger than the glove box on a lot of cars, and it's a bit like Tetris to try and fit a lot of stuff in the trunk, end quote. As he's struggling to get the equipment in the car, he notices that the little girls have now stood up. And he said the larger of the 2 girls looked 11 or 12, with the smaller of the 2 girls looking to be 9 or 10. So not so much an age difference between the 2 as far as he can tell. He couldn't tell who was younger or older. He kind of stated just because the one girl was taller didn't necessarily mean she was older. That's neither here nor there, but that's what the man said. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, as he's trying to fit all of this massive amount of stuff into the tiny trunk, he suddenly hears the larger girl start talking. He said she wasn't talking to him. She was actually talking to the smaller of the 2 girls about him. Steve said, quote, and it was almost like a litany, end quote, with the girl stating over and over again, quote, He'll give us a ride. He'll let us in his car. He'll have to let us go. He can't leave us out here. We're lost and scared, and it's 2 a.m. He'll have to give us a ride. He'll let us in his car. He's not going to leave us stranded. End quote. She was just repeating these same things over and over and over again, nonstop. The smaller girl wasn't saying anything. She wasn't even responding at all. She seemed to be just staring vacantly and listening to this litany coming from the older girl. This is very typical, actually, in these types of stories, that there's a younger looking BEK and an older looking BEK, and usually the older looking one is the one that does all of the talking and seems to have all of the authority, while the younger looking one just kind of stands there either staring at the ground or stands there looking almost inhumanly still. So Steve turns away from these two girls and continues with his task, loading stuff into the trunk. When he turned to look again 2 or 3 minutes later, Steve said he did not actually see the girls move because he was busy, doing what he was doing. But now they were halfway across the parking lot, much closer to him when he looked up this time than when he had put his head down just 2 minutes ago. A minute or so after this, after he notices that they somehow crossed halfway across the parking lot, he looks up and he says, quote, "And this time they really closed the distance. I didn't see them walk. They were only walking when I wasn't looking, I presume." End quote. Steve finally gets a good look at them, and he says they were, quote, "dressed oddly," end quote. He further describes their attire by saying that they were wearing very simple clothing with dark hoodies and dark colored pants. He said about their hoodies, quote, "sweatshirts with the hoods pulled up," end quote. The reason this was so odd is because they were inappropriately dressed for the extremely warm weather. He couldn't see their faces still, though, and he said, quote, "it still looked black in there," end quote, meaning, he couldn't see their face inside, this of the hoodie, you can't, it looks black. The taller girl was still talking at, quote, 90 miles an hour, end quote. She was still repeating over and over again, quote, "he won't leave us out here. He'll let us in the car. He won't leave us stranded. He'll do it. He won't leave us here. He'll let us in," end quote. Steve said at this point he was really getting spooked because every time he looked up, they were getting closer to him and he wasn't seeing them move at all. And the taller of the two girls kept repeating these same things over and over again about him letting them in their car, that he has to do it, everything I just said, to the smaller girl who still was just seemingly looking at the ground and not paying any attention to anything going on, which is weird. He looked up again, but this time they were directly under the streetlight. And this time he could finally see their faces. He said, quote, "and I could see that they had the biggest, blackest eyes. I mean, like so black as to not exist. It was that type of black. A pitch black. If you've ever been in a cave underground with no lights on, it was that kind of darkness. Just an inky blackness for their eyes," end quote. Steve stated, quote, "and like I said, I just felt this fear just start rolling over me in waves. And now to tell the story, it seems so ridiculous. It's two little girls," end quote. He said the fear didn't make sense to him, even though the circumstances seemed odd, being that he was in the middle of an industrial business area at 2 o'clock in the morning and there were two little girls in the parking lot with one of them incessantly jabbering on about getting into his car. He said he just knew it couldn't be a good thing that two little girls want to ride in a two-seater car in the middle of the night with a strange man. Steve said, quote, "first of all, I'm not going to put two kids in the seat of a car that's just meant for one person, and I don't want to be out running around under those circumstances, 2 o'clock in the morning with two underage girls, in a car," end quote. Steve once again starts recounting the fear that he felt about these two kids. He stated, quote, "but the fear that I felt come rolling off those two, even now, when I talk about it, I get a little antsy. I, it's just like every time I talk about it, I relive it," end quote. He said he never felt such a fear like that, and he described it as, quote, "a real feral fight or flight type thing," end quote. He likened it to a live rat being thrown into a pet snake's cage, the fear it must have when it senses the snake and knows that it's doomed. I loved this analogy because it really does seem to sum up the fear and the feeling that these kids give to people. This is how everybody who's encountered them describes it. Not so eloquently, but this is the fear they're explaining, like being in a rat in a cage with a snake and knowing that it's over. Basically, that fear you get when you sense a predator. He said he felt just like a mouse that was in a cage with a snake, stating, quote, "Well, that's how I felt, just like that mouse, just such an overwhelming fear that it was really beyond fight or flight," end quote. Steve mentioned a couple of other times, many times in his life, where he had paranormal encounters. It was kind of like, I don't want to say a normal thing for him, but he has had more than one paranormal encounter. And he said he had never felt a fear like this in his life. He called it, quote, "strange and irrational," end quote. So by this point, he said that he had finally gotten his stuff in his car, but he was fumbling for the keys because he just wanted to get into his car and get the heck away from these two little girls. Little girls. As I stated earlier, he had luckily left the top down because he could not get his keys into the door to open it. So he just hopped right over the door and into the car. And I don't know if it was in his haste or in his panic or if something else was going on. He was having trouble starting the car as the girls were kind of closing in on him. They were right on top of the car at this point. And the girl was still repeating her litany, incessant rambling about Steve letting them into the car and not leaving them stranded. Steve said the larger of the two girls was still talking about him, not directly to him. And that's very odd and kind of weird and creepy in any circumstance. But when you're looking at two BEKs and that's what's going on, it's got to be even more so, to the nth degree that there are no words to describe. The younger girl was still standing there completely mute, seemingly listening, seemingly zoned out. When Steve was finally able to get his car started and moving, he said the girls were so close to the car that they could have jumped in at that point if they wanted to. But remember, the BEK have to be invited. Steve said that he just floored it, the pedal to the floor, and he didn't even bother making a right or left out of the parking lot. He just kind of went over this grassy area and hopped the curb and took off and did not even bother looking back. I'm sure if he had bothered, there would have been no one in the rearview mirror. Steve stated that he had a girlfriend at the time that lived very close to where this encounter happened, and he would usually just go to her house after working so late at this particular job. But he said that night that thought didn't even occur to him. He said he headed 15 to 17 miles away to his parents' house instead of going to his girlfriend's house, who was much closer. And I have to wonder, was this his instinct, his internal fear, trying to get him as far away as possible from these two black-eyed children? Well, that was story number one. And I told you guys last time that I was going to just read the story and not kind of tell it in my own words. But because I was recounting this from audio, I hope once again, Steve, that I did your story justice. Now I'm going to just read something from Thought Catalog titled "Are Black Eyed Kids Real?" And then I'll get to the story that I was talking about in the last video about the telegraph. Are black eyed kids real? There is good reason to suspect black-eyed children are a real phenomenon. The original sighting in 1996 was by a newspaper reporter whose interest in telling the story of what he experienced was more out of curiosity than fame-seeking. To this day, he maintains that the story happened the way he originally told it. There are also many, many independent eyewitness accounts spread throughout multiple countries who have described similar experiences. They corroborate each other with the same MO. The children have pale appearance with all black eyes, appearing in twos or threes, clothing style out of date, needing to gain access to the witness's vehicle or home, to the victim's vehicle or home. It's also important to keep in mind, and I felt this myself, the black eyed kids story isn't that phenomenal. If someone were making up a story, they might try harder to make it more interesting or fantastical. The situations described seem creepy, but not like the plot of a horror movie, just an everyday situation with some kids that seem strange in it. Let's move on to another really creepy story from Reddit that I'm reading, not from Reddit though, from Thought Catalog. I guess they reposted it. Here goes. Sorry about the lighting change, guys. It's a new system and I'm trying it out, and I put the wrong one on in the beginning. Here it is. Every story I've read about them is from someone who already knew about them. Last night was like any other night. I was switching between listening to music and watching YouTube videos with one headphone in so I can hear my infant daughter if she cries. That way, my wife can get a full night's sleep. She works at 4 a.m. at the hospital every day. When I decide to go lay down in the spare bed in the baby's room, just as I dozed off, I heard a thumping coming from the front porch. Startled at first, I opened my eyes wide and scanned the room. Realizing it was most likely my cat scratching himself on the front porch, I dozed back off. Then again, the thumping. Quote, damn cat. End quote. I got out of bed to run him off the porch, only to see he wasn't there anymore. Now that I was up again, I wasn't the least bit tired. I figured I'd just get some tea and check Facebook while I'm up, maybe finish the web series I was watching on YouTube. A few minutes into the video, I felt the sudden urge to look up at the kitchen window. There they were. The tops of two short-statured people's heads cresting the stairs just above my window frame. The people were just short enough to not see in the window, but I could see out. I heard no footsteps on my porch as my stomach turned, but the knock was a steady, hollow thump. The very same thump I had just blamed on my cat. Deciding it was best not to answer, I shut my laptop and crept by the door back to the baby's room. I assumed it was some of the people from the low-income housing across the road from me, high or hiding from the cops, or maybe looking for my cousin who stays with me often and has many friends over there. The last thing I needed was to try to explain to two stoners that I was trying to sleep even though it was 2 a.m. It wasn't until I got to my daughter's room that the creepiness set in. The thump had moved from the kitchen to the bedroom windows, both windows, a room apart, thumping in perfect time. These stoners were going to wake up my daughter if I didn't run them off now. Pissed off, I went out to the kitchen, unlocked and opened the door, ready to run around to the side of the house and kick some little idiot's ass. It happened then. Staring up at me were two 10 or 11-year-old boys. The feeling of dread and the smell of mold almost made me vomit. The smaller of the two then spoke, quote, "May we use your telegraph?" End quote. Huh? I just stared blankly at these boys, horrified of what I then realized. Their eyes were pitch black. He asked again to use my, quote, telegraph, end quote. There wasn't a sound to be heard. No crickets chirping, no dogs barking, no cars driving by. Nothing. I tried to play it cool and ignore the fact that he didn't say telephone or phone or cell, anything that would have made any sense of the situation, and calmly replied, quote, "I don't have service at my house. Sorry," end quote. The expressions on their faces turned to rage as I finished my sentence. Swiftly, I shut the door and locked it as quickly as I could, then stumbled back to protect my daughter. I picked her up from her crib and held her close. The fact that she didn't wake up freaked me out the most, but I managed to gather my senses enough to make sure she was still breathing and warm. Everything seemed okay with her. The thumping on the windows was back. I dropped to the floor as close to the wall as I could and held my little girl in my arms and wept like a child. I felt helpless and afraid. I lied there for what felt like hours and hours, crying and shaking until I heard it, my wife's alarm clock. Thumping stopped the instant the alarm went off, and I crept into the master bedroom with the baby. Quote, "What's wrong with you?" End quote, my wife asked. Quote, "I just had a bad dream," end quote, is all I could mutter out. I handed my wife the baby and she fed her like any normal day. I turned on every light in the house and made coffee for her. For some reason, just having her awake calmed my nerves enough to pretend like nothing had happened. I walked her out to the car nervously with the baby in my arms. I asked her not to leave until I walked back in the house. She was put off by the request, but did so to humor me. Once I was safely in the house, I locked the door again, and in the house I sat horrified until she got home. I insisted we go to the next town over and stay the weekend at my brother's house, and here I sit horrified while she sleeps in the guest room with my daughter. Wondering why they had stopped when the alarm went off. I think I know the answer. I was aware of BEKs and she wasn't. Every story I've read about them is from someone who already knew about them. Maybe, just maybe, knowledge of them existing is the only reason they visit. I'm afraid and I'm sorry. No Sleep Trash wrote that story. So, again, guys, sorry about the lighting. I'm working on it. I want to talk about a few things in this story. I don't know if you guys saw my Glimmerman story. I'll put it right here, or any Glimmerman stories, or anything about things happening in the woods, the missing 411 stuff, even. Not just that, but even that. Everything seems to stop. All other life seems to stop. If you're in the house with someone, they're asleep and aren't awakened by anything that would normally wake a regular person up. Outside, there's no crickets, there's no squirrels, there's no wind. Could this phenomenon be connected with the missing 411 stuff, the kids going missing? Also, No Sleep Trash states that he thinks that the knowledge of knowing about them is the reason they visit. That's what Steve and I were just talking about, and that's what he says in his story. So let me know what you think, guys. I know the lighting's a little weird here. I just got a brand new professional lighting setup, and I can't wait to really try it out. Like I said, if the lighting's a little off, I really didn't have time to work on it today. I wanted to make this video spooky. I wish I had time to do the whole thing in this lighting, but I'm sorry I don't. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little shorter than the last one. I think it's going to be shorter than the last one. I'm trying to up the creep factor. I hope next Saturday to have more time to really put something super scary together for you guys for Halloween. I'm going to be at my sister's haunted house, so I'll probably film it like the day before. I'm probably going to upload from the haunted house as well because it's going to be super awesome. So be kind to each other, guys. It doesn't cost anything. And make sure you don't answer any middle of the night knocks on the door.
Okie dokies. Let me get this taken care of here. Make sure it's down. Get it out of my face. There we go. All right. What's up, folks? It's nice to see you, Chillin' Charlie. And Bat Mom. See there. Shirt is amusing. What shirt? The one she had on? I can't remember what it said. I'll have to go back and look. Now stop that. Well, thank you, Charlie. I hope you have been good. Kind of missed you. She asked about you a couple times and where you were at, and we haven't seen Darling Deb. So, Darling Deb, if you're out there listening somewhere, get a hold of Gemma. Silence of the Lambs. Now we knew what you were talking about. Nothing like the fumble fingers of the keys. I hope everybody enjoyed that. I'm like big black-eyed kid persons to a large degree because I see the one at the hospitals and doctors' offices. Now I see him at, like I said, over the past year now, I've been seeing him in the doctor's offices too. And it's weird. It is weird. And I have found a couple of people that see him too, except they're dressed a little differently, but they see him too in the hospitals. So I've been talking to them, trying to figure out why we see these things. That was funny. Honey. Yeah, it is. Well, I don't know if you, a few weeks ago, it was about a month ago. Actually, it was probably longer than that. I was at doctor's, Charlie, and I was at actually the hospital through the doctors. And I actually followed him for like 20 minutes until, and I'm trying to take pictures of him. I'd take a picture and look at it, and he's not in the picture. So I'd follow him and try to get closer. And he was moving quick. 1 minute be in one spot, and then he'd be in another spot. I followed him all the way around the hospital for 20 minutes, not very far. And then he went through doors that said no admittance. I couldn't go through. I had to stop following him. And then I saw him the other time last week. But the problem was I was on a time frame. I couldn't follow him around. I had to get out of there. I had a meeting at 2. But I see him all the time. But now I'm seeing him in the office, doctor's office, not every time. But like the other day, when I went to talk to him about the other appointment, Plus, I see him again 23rd. I was in there was an older woman in there. Why'd they call her back before me? Well, when they called me back and I was on my way back, he was standing at her door. And her door was open and she couldn't even see him. He was standing right there. But as soon as I got close, he walked away and disappeared around the corner. The nurse was like, "What are you watching?" I go, "Don't worry about it. Don't even ask. Don't even worry about it." So I wonder that the doctor's office or hospital's connection is. I've seen them there. See, that's where I saw the white-eyed girl. I saw a white-eyed girl at the hospital. That was a messed up situation too, because she kind of made me uneasy. I didn't feel like she was harmful. She was definitely there for a purpose. What that purpose was, I have no idea. But she talked to me. She came back the next morning, just before everybody, just before they started flipping the lights on, and said outside my door, "You will never see me again. You weren't supposed to see me. That's not good." And I went to say something and she was gone. And I haven't seen her since. I'm glad, because she was kind of creepy, but I didn't get like a bad vibe from her. It was more of this. I don't know, she felt important. Now, why she was there, I have no idea. But she was weird because, unlike the black-eyed kid, she had blonde hair. She was wearing a party dress. It was kind of creepy. I thought she was blind when I first saw her. I thought she was blind. And then when I realized nobody else could see her, then I kind of freaked out a little bit. And I was like, what the heck's going on? And she don't have black eyes. Because the black-eyed kid I see, he dresses like, he wears overalls and a striped shirt, just like Dennis the Menace. It's creepy. And the two kids that he's with, the little boy, sometimes they're with them. There's a little boy and sometimes a little girl with him. And both of them are younger than him. Sometimes they're both with him. Sometimes it's just one or the other. The little boy's wearing exactly what he's wearing. And then the little girl is wearing like a jean dress. It's really weird. And a striped shirt. But it's a dress. It's not like overalls. It's weird. Not like Children of the Corn. Now, if they came out of the corn, they'd probably creep me out. But no, this is in the hospital. These were different. The white-eyed girl was way different. And she was clean. And I mean, she looked like she was tidy and ready to go to a birthday party something back in the day. Because she literally had one of those little fancy girly party dresses. Pay your effing bill and you'll never see me again. Kind of, I don't know, but she didn't like the fact that I could see her. And she's one of the few entities that actually have spoken to me. So, but she wasn't liking the fact that I saw her or could see her. She didn't like it one bit. But I didn't feel intimidated by her, just the fact that it kind of scared me. Hey, you're not supposed to see me. You'll never see me again. She proved she was gone. I was like, okay, I don't think I want to see you again. Kind of like a collective pain on, yeah, but that's something different. Yeah. What time period can you place them if you had to? I wouldn't say there's no time frame. I mean, I've seen kids wear what they were wearing, as I was growing up. But I can tell you this, they're all three, and the white-eyed girl come off as feeling very, very old. Even though they were kids, they came off feeling like they had been around for a long time. But I couldn't put them in a time frame now. You're freaking me. Just telling you how it is. That's what I see. That's why I've always had a fascination with them, because it took me years just to find people that seen anything close to what I see in hospitals. I mean, I've seen regular stuff in the hospital. After when they were doing the surgeries on my throat, after one of the surgeries, they put me in a room by myself. Sometimes they take you at where they put you in, where they wake you up like recovery, and then they put you in a room. Where after I woke up in recovery, they took me down to the room because they decided to keep me that night. And I'm like, oh man. So they put me in room 13. Swear to God, that's the room number 13. And they put me in there where I was still like way out of it. And I actually didn't leak onto the bathroom of my pants. As soon as I knew what had happened, the paper towel dispenser on the other side of the room all of a sudden just starts dropping towels. No joke. It just starts dropping towels. So I hit the nurse's button, and I thought the machine was broken because no, it will stop. And it stopped after it laid down a bunch to clean myself up with. It stopped. And she goes, yeah, it does that all the time. She just watched. Sometimes chair moves. I'm like, you're telling me this stuff? She goes, yeah. Go, why'd you put me in here? And she goes, I don't know. This is the only one we had open. No, it wasn't on the 13th floor, but it was room 13. Yeah, it was kind of freaky, but it kind of cool. Like he was trying to help me out. Well, whoever it was trying to help me out. I was okay with that. The nurse felt bad, Mary. I felt bad for me because I've never had that happen before. But that was one of the surgeries where they had problems with me waking up in the middle of the surgery. So they kept doping me up even more to keep me out. Now, I'm sure, Mike, a lot of people have seen some wild stuff and they'll probably never talk about it. I only talked about it because it was nice talking about it because I had held it in for so long. I had seen stuff since I was young. And finally, people around here, they don't believe you. Now, my oldest daughter, Ashley, she believes me. She's actually seen me in action. And her oldest daughter, Rebecca, I think she's gifted like I am. I don't call it gift though, because it is kind of like a curse. At times I was like, I didn't want to deal with that. Go away. But I've learned that there's just some things I can block some things, but that I can't. Seeing what follows people, I can't block it. It's just something that's going to happen. Now with the black-eyed kid, that's another thing. I try to block it, and I'm stuck seeing it. But when it comes to the other weird stuff, sometimes I'll go years without any seeing other than just people being followed by whatever follows them. But the black-eyed kids, they've always kind of, because you hear about them and then everybody starts talking about them, and you might hear a couple of news stories that somebody will open up about. But you really, and see, people don't understand the black-eyed kids go back a ways. It just didn't start happening. These black-eyed kids have been seen for decades, hundreds of years. That's correct. 13. I wish it was the 13th floor. Then I'd be a little more. But yeah, it was kind of wild. She said there's a room down the hall. I couldn't remember the number, but she said there was a room down the hall when she was telling me all this. She goes, yeah, there's a room down the hall. People laying on the bed says it feels like somebody climbs in bed with them every time. So we stopped putting people in that room because people would freak out because they'd swear somebody just climbed in the bed. There must be some type of connection. Yeah, see, I'm thinking too, because usually in hospitals you get a number type of entities. I've learned this. I mean, you get people that have passed. They're kind of stuck there for a time. People who don't understand they're gone yet or stuff like that. Then the entity-wise, other entities would be the ones that feed on death, one that feed on the sick, or people who are dying or passing. I shouldn't say dying, passing on. There are things that if they weren't good people, these things come and feed off that. Then you have your angels and whatever you want to call it that come and sometimes they're just saying bad things that hang out in hospitals because of all those other things. They're like magnets sometimes. So it wouldn't surprise me everything that happened I see. And by that, I would say most of the stuff that I see is connected to hospitals. It's just the black-eyed kids. I don't know if they're there to take somebody away or oversee something. Because there are times I don't see them either. I've gone to the hospital and doctor and haven't seen them. Excuse me 1 second here. Check up. Trying to catch up. Hey, Mike. I'll duck out now, too, when I think I speak against the I'm the black kid, but the black kids. I can't. I get a handful of sea salt. Now, see, I don't know if that would work. Everybody, I know you, and you know what I've been into my whole family. Yeah. My Napa State. There right now, Charlie, there is a lot of. See, people don't realize our souls are literally being fought over right now. They really are, and it's going to get more intense. You're going to see people have to make a. In fact, we're kind of being forced to now to pick a side. So remember, right now we are literally living in a world where now the below is above and the above is below. It has flipped. And they're trying to make it down. It's the way of things, I guess. Yeah, usually with the regular black-eyed kids, you never hear any stories of people. And there's a couple stories that I've heard that even Gemma's brought up about people inviting them in and then getting real sick and then having health problems for years. But other than that, other than those couple stories, you really don't hear what happens. And I'm sure there's plenty of encounters out there that you're never going to hear about. You picked your side. Mm-hmm. I hope it's a good side. I don't know, but you see it right now happening. But yeah, I don't think people really understand how prophetic these times really are. And people wake up. That's for another conversation. That's a rumble. These are the conversations I want to have at Rumble. So that way I don't get Gemma in trouble. Because if YouTube is not what it once was. So they get a little more picky about keywords. Everybody knows, I think, deep down that something's getting ready to go down. Something is definitely getting ready to go down. I would expect for anything, really, the kickoff will probably either be a really massive earthquake somewhere, major volcano. They've already had one pretty wild things happening. The weather's been weird. So it'll be a major event that will happen that will pretty much set things off. I'm with you on what you are talking about. Yeah, it's coming. I've had enough visions, and I've talked to other people. Edna has the same visions. All I can say is I don't know when it's going to happen. When will everything go down? I don't want to know. We aren't meant to know. You can call it a resetting. You can call it whatever you want. But something that is majorly, when it's going to happen, I can't tell you. What it's going to happen, I can give you an idea of what happens, since I've seen a different couple things go down in some of the stuff that I've had. One of them is a major earthquake, and I think a volcano will go off. Some of the people that have them say they think it's Yellowstone. If Yellowstone goes off, that's not cool. But yeah, something major is getting ready to happen. And Smoochie, you need to be on. You're still down in Louisiana, right? You need to be aware because I expect hurricane season to be very rough this year. So make sure you got your hatches buttoned down and all that, because you got another one getting ready to come that way, and I don't know which way they don't know which way it's going to go yet. So it's ramping up already because they said this one that's coming out and it could definitely get strong. They just don't know which way it's going to go yet. Too early to tell. Oh yeah, you will know when Yellowstone goes off. Oh, no doubt. But see, have you heard about the geyser blowing? Didn't you? One of the geysers up in the northern part of the park blew up so bad that it literally turned everything black. People went running. I'm sure some of you probably saw the footage. I can't remember which one it is, but it is one in the northern quadrant. It just they had to redo everything. You can probably find the footage. It's out there. It's just happened not too long ago. There's been a lot of earthquake activity going on again, real light. There's some of they pulled off some of the I don't know if they put them back on, but a couple of the seismographs have disappeared. Usually when you start seeing that or they're blank, they're hiding something. Just like with ISS, the space station. When you see them go dark, you know they're hiding something. Though they don't do it as much now because I've seen stuff on the ISS live feed. I watched a huge UFO. Underneath it, follow it for like 10 minutes. I even recorded it and sent it to someone of the I think I sent it to Mr. BBB3. But I watched it for a good 10 minutes. That was on my old computer. My son was like, "What are you freaking out on? Look at this thing." I was showing him on the phone. It was huge. It was literally between Mother Earth and the ship and the ISS, and it followed for a while. It was kind of wild. It was huge. Whatever it was huge and round. Yes, Mother Earth is getting very agitated. But see, people don't understand the Earth and the sun. It all goes through cycles. Right now, the sun is very active. Now, how long these cycles last is a pretty average guess, but we should be switching soon anyway. But the sun is like super active. I mean, you could have 70-degree weather and go out and stand in the sun, direct sunlight, and you'll get hot. You can feel the burn. The ISS isn't real. Yeah. I don't think all the stuff they show us is real, but I think there is a satellite out there that's watching. But I have my own theories on that too, Smoochie. So I'm not knocking you. It's not like I'm saying it's fake because it is kind of real. It is real. Like people say, "Oh, we haven't been to the moon," but we have been to the moon. Why is there a reason why have we gone back to the moon? Well, you have to do your own research for that. And I've had my own friends prove that we've been to the moon. There is actually mirrors on the moon that you can hit with a laser and it will bounce it back, just like they do in Big Bang Theory in that episode. I've been with people who actually do that. It's pretty cool. There's a private satellite. Remember that? Yes, I agree. Yes. Nightmare. I agree with that. If it's a light, it's not a thing. It's hollow. I'll tell you that. The moon is hollow. It is hollow. They've proven that a couple times by hitting it with nukes, and it rang like a bell. And it did ring like a bell. I've heard that footage. It does ring like a bell. Boing. Like that, but you know what I'm saying. Just waiting for people to comment. This is an interesting conversation. I don't want to get too political and too religious because they are cracking down. I'm worried because there's a couple channels I watch that I think a lot of. I followed them from their beginnings. And I don't know how much longer they're going to be able to stay on YouTube. They're going to have to start looking for. I've told them each, dude, you're going to have to start thinking of another media outlet like YouTube, like Rumble or Odyssey or BitChute. A lot of creators, believe it or not, you may not believe it, but a lot of creators have completely left YouTube. We're in the process of doing that. But a lot of them won't, like Gemma. I don't want her to leave YouTube because this is where she started. And some people will probably never go to Rumble because they have the wrong idea. They think Rumble is pretty much a conservative site, but there are all kind of people on there. And, you know, I've seen good conversations with total polar opposites on Rumble. Plus, you know, I'm starting to see tarot card readers, oracle readers on there. I'm starting to see more and more paranormal stuff on there. So it's a good thing. And you get your money. They don't take 40% of it, whatever it is. They basically almost take half of her, you know, these people's money. That's why a lot of them just don't monetize their streams or videos. They just get hired, you know, go out and look for advertising. But even YouTube's cracking down on that. So yeah, you know, if you got channels you love to watch, that you do watch every day, support the crap out of them. Because it's important. And that's why we push donations and stuff. It's what keeps her running. That was dumb. Sorry about that, folks. I had my alarm set. I don't know why I had my alarm set. Yeah, boom booms. I think that's the next thing you need to watch is what they try to take away from us, or try to take away our speech. And they're already going after other things. I've seen most of that, Smoochie. And as to your claim earlier, yeah, there is footage out there that it's obviously weren't there in a ship. I mean, it's pretty obvious they're using green screen technology in some of this, but yeah, there's something out there. It's definitely recording because it was obvious they didn't want things to be seen. Because for the longest time, first time you see something fly around that space station, they were cutting the feed. Oh, sun flare. Yes, I understand some of it could be CGI, but that's inside. I actually believe there is a camera out there, and it may be a big satellite, or there may be people up there. I personally, there's highly possible people up there. You got two astronauts. I don't even know if they've had a chance to come home yet. There were two astronauts actually stuck in space. They couldn't get home. So I don't know if they figured something out. I haven't gone back to do a recheck on it. But there are literally two astronauts stuck in space. Nobody's talking about it. You've heard very little about it. You think they'd be making a big deal about it? Then you kind of wonder if there really is. But I've seen footage. It looks legit. And I'm pretty good at telling what's fake and what's not. Because like I said, there are footage of them supposedly in ISS that looks pretty fakey. And it's obviously using green screens and stuff like that. Yeah, that Black Knight satellite is an interesting situation too, because that thing's been here. They can't tell you how long it's been here. I mean, we know it's been here as long as Tesla, because Tesla was picking up the satellite signal. So yeah, it's been here for a long time. And they'd said for years, oh, it's just space debris. Yeah, space debris. Why would there be space debris making noise, floating around in space? Since we haven't shot a rocket off with Tesla, we haven't sent anybody to space or anything. That was before that time, supposedly. That's another thing. Our history is not what they tell us either. And they've changed our history so many times, I don't even think they can keep up anymore. No, they don't want to shoot it down. There might be a reason. I've heard a number of theories on that particular satellite, that night satellite. Some people actually believe it's not a satellite, that it is a craft. And it's been up there for a long time, and there are things still alive in it. I've heard that it is a satellite. And that big, long, what do they call the Ooga Wooga asteroid that supposedly shot around the sun, came by us and shot around the sun as it picked up speed and slung itself back into deep space, where they say it's coming back. That they believe that there's another, either it's the same one or it's something else that's coming back. But they believe something is coming almost in that same path. But they think those are two tied. They think it came through here to pick up information off that night satellite. I've heard that theory a couple times. And I think that's a craft. They don't think it was a cigar-shaped asteroid. I mean, when they did an analysis of it, it was metal, a lot of metal. But like how they show the pictures, it looks like just a long, big dirt. But the night satellite, the Black Knight satellite, it is interesting. And they still have pictures of it. You can still find updated pictures of it. And they say it shifts from pole to pole. I didn't know if you know that, Night, but it actually says that it traveled. Well, they said for a while it was just staying like on one side and just going back and forth. Other people in the past have said it rotates around from pole to other pole. I don't know. Then I'd have to go and dig back out all that research. He finished a family-sized bag of chips. He's like, I like chips, but I'm not a chip guy. I don't mind Cheetos. We make a lot of jokes about Cheetos. I like Fritos, but man, they're like $5 a bag now. It's like, what? I'm a cracker guy. I like cheese crackers. I like my crackers. Crackers and cheese. Or peanut butter and crackers. Peanut butter and cheese crackers. No, I'm hungry too. I'm not hungry. I've actually done really good. Well, like I said, we had Japanese for dinner. So I ate really good. Under the moon. I can't find it. It was just a little triple of the moon, and you guys should be seeing it set soon. But it's out there unless it's cloudy. It's already pretty much set for us. It's an early moon. Yeah, it may be gone already. You had a small sandwich with it? Yeah, it's always good. See, that's another thing. If I eat a sandwich, I got to have chips or something. Oh, crackers and cheddar cheese. Oh yeah, no doubt. Definitely. Um, People crack up. I'd fry up bacon and cut it to put on cheese and crackers. Yeah, I know you're up late. You're usually in bed by now. I think it was probably after last night's stream. I think it was almost 4 o'clock when I finally tried to lay down. I turned my son on to a peanut butter cheese bagel. He was like, "Holy crap, this is actually good." Said, when you're a bachelor or divorced and you're living by yourself and gotta feed kids, you save the poor man stuff for yourself and get the kids the good stuff. That's what I ate, was peanut butter and cheese sandwiches and oatmeal. I love oatmeal and like cream of wheats and cocoa wheats. Toasted, yes, definitely toasted. Toasted, yes. You toasted the bagel. That way everything kind of melts together. Yeah, make sure you toast the bread, bagel first. But yeah, he loved it. He was like, this is actually a really good combination. Like, yeah. Elvis liked to throw a banana on there, but she's hungry. We've been talking about food, now she's hungry. That don't sound bad at all, no. Just peanut butter and bagel with cheese. Sometimes I like to use pepper jack cheese with mine. But poor man dinner, that's what I ate. That and a lot of cans of SpaghettiOs. That's when they were cheap. That's how I learned to bake, because store bought cookies were even pricey then, unless you buy a pack, buy one get one pack. So I learned how to make cookies and stuff. That's Thank God my mom was a good cooking baker. But I like to cook, and it's not as much as I like to bake. I just hate making a mess and having to clean it up. I try to clean as I go, so it makes it easier. Yeah, doesn't it sound good? It don't sound bad, does it, Mike? Just a bagel and cheese and some peanut butter. Toast it up. I get that. I like my bagel almost. I like my bagel crispy, anyways. So I like it when you stick it together, it melts together, and actually, it's perfect taste. And then my son was like, "What are you eating?" I go, "I'm eating a peanut butter and cheese bagel." What? And I go, "Yeah, peanut butter and cheese bagel." Is it good? Let me make you one, and you can tell me. So I made him one. He was like, "Oh my gosh!" And now he eats them. It's like a perfect late night snack. Get your protein, get your dairy and your breads. There you go. But seen all kinds of poor man, what I call poor man dinners. You made it, and if you think about it, somebody's probably already made it. Ugh. Everybody's got their own little poor man recipe book in their head, especially guys, especially guys that don't cook. I had one friend. He was lucky though. His mom was Italian, so she made noodles. She always made homemade noodles and spaghetti and stuff like that. So he always had that stuff. So we'd go over there, and if we wanted Italian food, we'd just go to his house. So I don't like Nutella. I'm not a Nutella guy. I know a lot of people like it, but I'm not a Nutella guy. I'm a peanut butter guy. I tried the Nutella once, and I just wasn't a fan of it. I don't know why. I guess. But then again, here I'm a ding dong guy, because um, I've had a Vegemite sandwich before. Now that was a little rough at first. And my brother was stationed on the USS Kennedy, and he brought a jar of Vegemite home with him. He was stationed in Australia for a while. That stuff takes a little while to get used to it. But it wasn't bad once you got used to it. No, I'm not. I'm not a Nutella guy. Though I have tried it. I will say I have tried it. Now my grandkids love that stuff. Yeah, Jiffy. I was a Jiffy guy for a long time. I always liked Peanut Pan better. Their creamy was always really perfect, and so was their crunchy. Because every so often I like good crunchy peanut butter too. We're talking about peanut butter, and I'll tell you what. Another thing's good, Mike. If you take that peanut butter and cheese bagel and fry up some bacon and put it in between that, it's even better. And we've done that too. My ex-wife used to make grilled cheese sandwiches, but she wouldn't use cheese. She would do bread, peanut butter, bacon, and then treat it like a grilled cheese sandwich. Those were tasty. But it was basically the same principle I was doing. Just add cheese to it. It's just as good. Or even before you push them together, throw an egg on there. Because I've had peanut butter and egg too. When you're a poor man and you eat anything you got to fill your belly. Breakfast bagel more of my thing. Yeah, a lot of people like them for breakfast. Yeah, I can eat bagels all the time. I love a good bagel sandwich. The mistake was when I went to Jersey's, they took me to a deli. Oh my gosh. This bagel was huge. It was like this. I had ham, egg, the whole works. Oh my God, it was so good though. But man, I had to shove it down. There was a lot of food there. And then she took me to that hamburger place. Man, that place was a killer too. But nothing, I will say this. She was right. Nothing better than a Jersey deli. I was having a blast in there. I want some of that, some of that. Egg, bacon, and sausage and cheese. Yeah, I'd like all that on my sausage too. Or some people say don't say sausage or say whether they won't say ham. And see, my dad likes his spam. Jewish. Yeah, they are. They are. I will say that. That is true, Mike. And there's a lot of them up there too. No, I forgot what I said. Yeah, my dad likes his spam. I don't mind spam sandwich once in a while. It's salty. I mean, I tell him, you got to watch how much you eat. That's a lot of salt. A lot of sodium. It's funny because we have like a bug out bag, and he's got a bunch of those little Vienna sauce cans of Vienna sausages and spam, and all those little sardines, and that's stuff that he ate in service because it keeps. Yeah, spam's good. That's good when you're camping. It's like good energy too. I don't have a problem with spam. That I was telling him I may tomorrow morning, or some for brunch or something. Make some sausage gravy, some spam and eggs, some biscuits. Sounds kind of good. I also was thinking about making a casserole, a breakfast casserole. Those are fun to make too. Potted meat is my fave. Are you talking like a pot pie? Because I love pot pies too. I also like shepherd's pies. Those are good. Dad loves shepherd pies, especially if they use cornbread instead of potatoes. Oh, heck yeah. There you go. We're talking food again. What time we got? I ain't even been looking at the time. Oh, it's only 1:45. Oh, yeah, I like My grandma Bowen, she made a killer homemade pot pie. Oh, man. Yeah, the Vienna sausages I like. That potted meat. Is that potted meat? Now, see, he also made me buy these cans of shredded beef that's in a can. I got a little can because I wanted to try and see what I was getting myself into. Actually, it's great for like beef stew. If you need to make a quick beef stew, they're perfect. Yeah, that is good eating in it though. My pie better have fruit. Now, see, you've never had a pot pie before? I'm sure you have. No, Dad loves his fruit pies. Oh yeah, he's an apple pie, cherry pie. He's got to watch the pecan pie because it's really sugary. He's a diabetic. Well, all those he has to watch because he's a diabetic. But I would say pecan pie is probably the worst about the sugar. Next to like a pumpkin pie or like sweet potato pie, is real sugary too. Anything else? What else? What else? It's like I didn't realize my dad liked sushi, but when he was in the war, when he was over there in the service for the Marines for Korea, he was stationed in Japan. He said he loves sushi, and I'm like, dude, I can't eat sushi anymore because he was going to get sushi, and I'm like, I can't even look at that stuff anymore. I got really sick off of sushi. I mean, really sick. And I said, you and Gemma would get along because she loves her sushi too. I loved it. I got sick and I couldn't look at it after that, and I got sick. That's what happens when you eat bad sushi, I guess. I love his stuff. I don't have all those fancy things to do that with. So I probably do, and I just don't know how. But he's got it down. A couple of these people I know, like Nightmare, that's got that down. Man, he makes swords and everything, man. You should do like animation like that, Nightmare. That'd be kind of cool. Just a video of that kind of animation. Tell a story with. We do, but we have to. Well, hello there, Mama Cindy. You know, I've been thinking about you, lady. I almost said something to you in Facebook. I was about ready to because I haven't talked to you in here for a while. I know you're a busy lady. You got a lot going on. But when did this turn into the Food Network? Yes, it's the Food Network tonight. Well, we're talking about Black Eyed Kids and scary stuff before this, and then we just got on food. Yeah, that's one thing I like about these nights. We touch a lot of subjects when we get on a roll. Stick that. I have an original K bar from a brother that was a. Oh, really? Wow. Yeah. He lost some of his stuff. They had a big flood in the basement before I was born when they first moved in here because I was born in this house. My two older brothers were born in Linden, and then they moved here. But they had a flood, ruined his dress uniform. It trashed everything. He lost a lot of stuff. So yeah, but he does have some small stuff put away, especially while he was over in Japan waiting to go over. He bought really nice dishes and you don't know what happened to him. He's pissed. They had that hand painted art on them and everything. He doesn't know if Mom gave them away. Black eyed kids eating food. There you go. Born in a manger, Ghosty. It's good to see you, Cindy. Is everything you're doing okay? You hanging in there? I watch your post on it. I get in and out of Facebook anymore. I basically go in there, say hi, check out posts for a little bit. Then I go collecting dragon pictures and art for backgrounds. I'll take the blame for the food. Yeah, you were kind of the ones that started that with the chips, weren't you? Yeah, don't sell it, dude. Hang on to it. Yeah, definitely hang on to it. It's important. There's stuff that, like I said, I sold a lot of stuff during chemo to pay for my chemo. I mean, I did really good because a lot of stuff was worth a lot more than I ever imagined. I mean, I even had leftover money to, pay a month, almost 2 months of rent, and paid my bills for 2 months. And I was able to use my other money for food and stuff during that time, which went a lot of it to medicine too. But anyways, now there are some items now that I wish I'd never given up because I can't find them anywhere to replace them. And the people that do have them don't want to give them up. GD spell check. I'm okay. I've made up my mind that I'm done with the doctors. Been there, done that, Cindy, and I still go though. I do it because of the people that care about me. It's probably the only reason. I've been through so much physically. Like I said, my life has been where I can't complain. Hasn't, typical low middle class life. I shouldn't say low, we were middle class. I had most problems that everybody else had. But I've been lucky. But when it comes to what I see, the things that I see and stuff, and then my own physical health, I've had my issues. But it doesn't help with some of the things I've done in my life either. I think I know is spelled with an A. You guys are cracking me up. 9. No. GD spell check. I don't. My next trip will be to. Oh, stop. Stop. So now you sound like my dad. Now you sound like Pops. But man, the guy's 91 years old. There are some days I get it because he's been having a couple more, his rough days are becoming more and more. He's slowing down even more. And I will give him credit, man. We went down there to work for his sister. And I'd say for the first part of the morning, he kept up with us. And then we finally had to tell him, dude, go sit down. He's well. He is doing really good. Like I said, we were down at his sister's working all day. So like I said, the first part of the morning, he tried to keep up with us. But his legs are starting to give out. He refuses to use the walker. He'll still use his cane, but he refuses to use the walker, which turns into a wheelchair. But, I can't blame him. He's a pride. He's a boomer. He's proud. Another thing that bothers me is I watched him go from eating huge plates of food in the past year or so. Now he's just kind of grazing through the day. But I give him credit. And even my own doctor said he probably outlived me. But he's well. He was get spunky, man. Today he was, even though he pooped out on us about half day, we had to tell him to sit down. Man, he was on a goal, man. He was giving everybody a hard time. So yeah, he's good. I'm not bad. I'm trying to keep up with him sometimes. I'll tell you what though, when your parents tell you they'll have your revenge or wait till you have kids, Wait till you have kids is a good one. But what's even more better is when you realize that now you're taking care of them and they're acting like you did when they were taking care of you. It's like I took him to the store. He flirts with every woman. The guy just cracks me up. I'm going to have to post a picture of what he looked like in the service. You guys will freak out. He was a good looking guy. I was like, holy crap, man. I said, he looked like one of these biker dudes. Yeah, they just pick at that age. Yeah. It's funny though. He got a good and he does have problems hearing, even though he'll tell you, oh, some of it is selective hearing. But there are days that I know he doesn't hear, and he won't go get a hearing aid. But it's nice to be able to use that. I've got selective hearing. I only hear what I want to hear. And at that age, he can pretty much tell you to F off. And most people just, oh, how cute. Have you ever seen that movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds when he's talking to the goofy old man at the table? That's kind of that was like, that's me right there. That's what I want to do. Be just like that guy. Don't care. It looked like I'm nah. Actually, Mike, everybody does it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm probably one of the worst typers. I've actually had to go clear my stuff. You even in oracles, I have to keep an eye on what I'm doing and double check before I post, and I still screw up. Sometimes I rush so bad. And believe me, you're not the only one, dude. You're not the only one. There's some people. I had a friend. That person, he didn't even have to look at the key. He knew the typing thing down. He had it down. I've seen women like that, but man, this guy was fast. I mean, he was and not even looking at the screen. I was like, holy crap, dude. Just watching the screen, typing away. That's pretty impressive. And I'm sitting there going like this. A, B. And still screwing up. Yeah, that's the thing. We speak typo. That's for sure. We do speak typo. And we read typo. On a typewriter, well, your keyboard is basically. See, I don't know how many of you people are using phones to watch me. How many people are using a laptop or a PC? I'm just curious. I know a lot of people watch YouTube on their phone. See, I do everything on the PC. I barely use half the apps on this phone. So I put a phone. So 2 on phones. Anybody out there just watching, just type in if you're on a phone or on a PC or if you're on a laptop, Android adapter and USB. Oh, okay, keyboard. Yeah, I've seen those. I was just curious because I know a majority. I saw phone, Bluetooth keyboard. Yeah, I've seen those. You can get those. I thought about getting one for my son because he's got a one of those. It's not an iPad, but he's got a pad. I think it's Android. And he goes, I keep forgetting to get a keypad for it. But yeah, I was just curious because I saw a survey where they said probably like, I think it was like almost like 87.6 people watch YouTube on their phones. Basically, the majority of YouTube views are done on a phone. I'm on the phone because I'm rendering video on my computer, and that's a good reason to be on your phone. I do everything on my phone. Oh, see, that's That's Gemma. She does it. I mean, she does her streams and her recording on a laptop, but I think even the videos she records, she does on her phone because it's a better picture. I don't know. I sent her a camera that she never hooked up, but I have a PC and I have a laptop. I have a couple laptops. I have one laptop that's just strictly for the deep web, dark web. It's a crappy old Dell that I use to get on, go down deep into the internet, go into those dark and scary places, which really aren't that dark and scary unless you go looking for the dark and scary. And believe me, you may not like what you find. Yeah, I was just curious because I know that somebody was saying that like the majority of YouTube is watched on the phone. I only use the PC when I have to do business and print something. Oh, really? I use my PC for. Well, I don't do it too much anymore. I learned my lesson after my last PC fighting the desk because somebody didn't like what I was getting into. So now I'm a little bit more careful. I was careful that time. I always careful, but just because I forgot one thing, they were able to get in and trash my computer. I had to go get a new one. So now I'm a lot more. Yeah, I'm even double. But yeah, I was just curious on how many people actually use their phones. I've heard, because I figured everybody's got a phone. I know a lot of people lay in bed and sit in the couch, watching their phone and have TV on, or watching the phone and playing games. My son upstairs, he's got his phone going. He's like me. He's got dual screen computer screens. He's got a game on, and then he's got, a screen with his PlayStation on it. So he's playing PlayStation. He's got a couple things going on here. He's learned that from me, though. You're the same way, yeah. See, me too, yeah. Or he learned it from me because I literally have my PlayStation and the screen I use for the PlayStation. I also have hooked up for the computer, but I don't use that. I only use both screens when I'm doing really serious research. The screen in front of me is a curved screen. I love this thing. It's a great screen. I'm going to get a different one for my PS5 because I want to get a 4K for the PS5 since it's 4K compatible. But I'm not a PC gamer either. I don't game on my PC. I'm a console guy. Only because I suck at multitasking. Yeah. Well, I'm not a very good multitasker until it comes to this. Actually, I am very good. I can do 2 or 3 jobs at once. I end up usually in this house. I have to. Xbox, security cam. You're on my phone and rendering on the computer. Yeah, you sound like somebody else I know. Though I am going to work in the. I'm not a big fan of that. What is that? The doorbell, ring bell, whatever it is. But I do want to get a camera out front and one out back. Because I've had another person tell me that they saw the guy that used to work in the cemetery walk down the street again with a bike about 3:00 in the morning. So I want to see if I can catch him. Ring, yeah. There you go. Thank you. Ring, ring. Yeah. I'd like to just get a regular, good, solid. The only problem about having those cams, though, is the Wi-Fi, because people hack the Wi-Fi. You got to make sure you have a good security system on them because people hack them. I'm sure you've all seen the videos where you have the indoor ones that have mics on them, or they have them outside, and that the guy is hacked into this families, and he's standing there talking to a little girl sitting there. This little girl standing there watching it. Well, he sees her, but he's talking to the little girl. That's kind of creepy and scary. They kind of hack into it like that. Because that means anybody can hack into it. That's the only problem I had about these cams now. Yeah, now a friend of mine swears by the ones that you hook directly to your like a recording device. He says those are what you want. I do listen to Slipknot, Rammstein. They're okay. Rammstein's been around for forever on PC because the speakers are bass. Oh, Bose. Oh, there you go. I'm a Slipknot now. I love seeing Slipknot. Hey, Latro, what's up, bud? Thank you. I appreciate it. I saw you pop in yesterday too. I appreciate it, bud. How you doing? What you working on now? Did you finish your food truck? Did you get it fixed? Yeah, I'm a slap. I was. It's funny. You know, I had two older brothers that grew up in the '60s. My mom and dad loved music of all types. So I went from, you know, what would be called classic rock and roll now, and bluegrass and all that. And then right after, or right at the beginning of 8th grade, I stumbled into punk. So I was a punker for 9th grade to my sophomore year. Kind of a punker, dressed it, spiked hair. Then I kind of slid into the new wave, kind of fold, then right back into heavy metal and rock and roll. But yeah, I'm a headbanger. I go way back. Slipknot, your boys. I'd like to see them. I haven't seen them yet. I haven't got to see them yet. And Korn. I like Korn too. I'm not. Softer is your favorite band right now. Ooh, I'll check them out. Problem is, I'm not big on some of the new music. Food trailer is mostly done and is up for sale. Oh, there you go. What do you want? Fixing Honda to sell as well. Trends is giving me a headache. Brick in the Wall. Oh, their version of Brick in the Wall? Actually, their version of the Brick in the Wall is not a bad version. And of course, I'm a Pink Floyd fan too. I've seen them. I've seen the Wall concert. I've seen Pink Floyd a couple times. As a kid, my brothers took me to shows all the time when I was a kid. They took me to see the Animals tour. I saw them right after that album was released. Well, when they came over here for that tour. And I was just a kid for that. Seen Elvis. Seen Ernest and Tubbs. Oh yeah, I'd appreciate that. Yeah, drop me a link. Actually, hey Kara, I am. How are you, dear? Are you well? I hope. It's nice to see you in my chat. I hope you're doing good. It's good to see you. Wow. Hello. Yeah, Nightmare, that'd be great. Actually, if you want to email me the link, you can do that too. I'll do this. It's my email is also in my description part of my YouTube profile. But here it is. I'm typing in nothing. Oh yeah, I can just go from here. I'll just leave it there because what I'll do is I can come back later and still click on that link. Cool breeze. Thank you, Nightmare. Thank you so much. Yeah, because I am trying to look into a decent set. I'm right next to the cemetery. I can imagine what I can catch. I know that the people, like I said, the people across the street are new. So I'm really, he's the one out one day that asked me about him. And I asked how he knew about him because I see this footage. I see this guy and I explained everything. So I'm actually seeing a ghost. And I go, can I have the footage? He was like, no, he seemed kind of cold after that. So, oh, thanks. You get these light, when you use StreamYard, they don't give you an option of a dark screen background. So it gets kind of bright. Plus my eyes are getting old. Well, actually, I'm supposed to wear glasses. These are scripts. They got bent. I sat on them earlier. With those scripts. I got the yellow because of the screens. And they're safety goggles too. I can even go boom, boom with them. do the whole work. So I paid good money for them. The only problem I got to watch is the metal frames. I'm allergic to nickel, so I had to have them make sure there's no nickel in them. But yeah, I like them. They're good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Now, if they go back to probably regular glasses here, I'm going to get I need new glasses. So that's why a lot of the reason why I'm wearing these, because usually I wear these outside and stuff. But now that I've been on a computer, notice they really help with the computer too. I've been wearing them on during streams. It's good to see you. Are you doing well, my dear? Yes, and hugs to you too. I didn't see that. It's good to see people when they pop in and say hello. She's one of my favorites. I don't get around like I used to. I've been so dang busy. I try to catch mogs. I haven't checked out Anthony's new channel yet, S4's new channel. Haven't had time. With Sunny gone, it's kind of missed a little bit of a hole. So, and some of the other chats, they get a little tense sometimes that I used to go to. So I just kind of got busy with life and doing these now with Gemma, trying to help her out. But yeah. And if we run out of time again, if I do a short video upload on that, and you guys want some more, just let me know, and I can always do another replay. You know, I just went back to one. I was doing 2 a night, but I just went back to 1. But Latro. I work with a lot of Klein, which is mostly nickel. You would not like my job. Actually, I probably would love your job. I just probably wouldn't be able to do your job because, I actually have to watch the change in my pockets. I swallowed a quarter when I was younger. This is how I found out that I was highly allergic to nickel. You know, playing quarters, and I swallowed the quarter, and I went blind. And I got sick with a dog, and I couldn't understand what was going on. Went to the hospital. You're allergic to nickel. And I said, oh, is that because I swallowed a quarter? And they go, yeah, not that good. I folded back my UFO channel. Participation due to lack of time. And that's, when you're busy like that, it's hard to do both. I get that, Latro. Yeah, like I said, I think I'm going to try to do something on. I was going to do it here, and I think with the way I talk sometimes, and I like to get into conversation, so I think I'll take it over to Rumble. I'm hoping to start that after she gets settled into all her new format. And like once a week, I'll put a video up, see how they do, and then I'll probably stream. Not every night because I like being here with Gemma, but I like to have my say too, and it's hard to say what I want to say here on YouTube. Better than me, Latru. I haven't made a video, just too busy. It's hard, I'm telling you. That's Gemma's problem right now. She got all these new subscribers. She's only been able to put out one now on Thursday and then do oracles on Friday. But once that boy goes back to school, she'll be kicking it again. That's why I've been doing, midnight streams, and then we were doing the Tuesdays. When she had to stop doing the Tuesdays talks, me and Ryan took over for a while, but Ryan had some things come up. I do enough solo stuff, so I was like, "What do you want to do?" She goes, "We'll stop Tuesdays," and then Pixie, I don't know if you knew this, Kara, but Pixie's on every other Thursday. Now she won't be on this Thursday, but the following Thursday she should be on. Miss Jim is home. She don't stream at night, just late at night. She was here last night for Oracle, so you got to come and join us for Oracle. She'd get a kick out of seeing you, hon. She deals, instead of doing oracles on Wednesday now, she does them on Fridays. And that was due to scheduling. But she does oracles on Friday. And then after the second week, she was doing Tuesday talks, what we call Tuesday talk, at 1 on Tuesdays. She had to stop because, son being home from school. And then I think about the second week of September, she'll be back to doing Tuesday talks. And Kara, stick around because I could. She wants to do a lady chat where she does a stream with all ladies, and that might be right up your alley, there, little lady, if you're not too busy. Oh, working, yeah. But she does it. There's a lot of the reasons she does it because it's the only free time she gets when he's in school, other than the night that she gets to do streaming for oracles. But she also does it because, we get a lot of people from over, there's a lot of people that watch the internet from across the big oceans. So she wanted to give them a chance to, talk to her and say, hey. 290 subscribers. I didn't realize. Yeah, she's getting there. She is getting there. I'm happy. She lost a few, and I think she lost a little bit just because she was she had to disappear a little bit because of the summer and him being home. But I told her they'll come back. And she does really good on TikTok. I mean, I don't think she was really ready for it, but she had to do something. And actually, people crack on her shorts, but her shorts do pretty good. And it gives you a chance to see who Gemma it really is, too. So, cool, Ghost Dragon. I would love to chat with Gemma. Yeah, I think it'd be a cool thing. She wants to do that one time, so I'll let her know. And if you can sneak in next Friday, she'll be here. Come in and say hi. If you don't even want a card, at least come in and say hi. She would love to see you. And still at 7:15. It's just on Fridays now. She has more than mine. You have 209. I have like 5 or 6, I think. You're doing better than I am. But then again, I haven't done anything. That would be awesome. She would love to see. Yeah, she still does it just on Friday nights now. And then, like I said, she's got some big things in store. Her Gone book went #1. Gone 3 went #1 today. That made her all happy. That was good to see. And get Campfires 3 to going because she's pumping out the books like crazy. She's able to at least work on those. She does want to do a lot more writing now. I think writing's more, she loves doing the YouTube stuff, but she's a writer. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, see, that's a lot of problems with what, it's a lot of people get caught up because it's harder to run a channel and work a job. It's hard. It is hard. I can imagine, A lot of creators have to give up their channel because they don't want to quit their jobs. Because right now you can't. I know people who quit in the years. Like I said, I've been with YouTube from the beginning. It's beginning. Hold on. And I really watch guys quit their jobs to do YouTube and actually get something out of it. I've also watched people quit their jobs to do YouTube and end up going back to work. So hold on, man. Talking too much. But yeah, so YouTube anymore is a chance. And if you get lucky, you find that one little click or that one little thing that makes you pop out amongst everybody. Yeah, I am too, Mike. She, this him being home from school this summer did kind of slow her down a little bit, but she'll get it. I remember YouTube as part of. Yep. Now you're friends. Bro, remember you? Yeah, well, back in the day, it was worth being on YouTube. Good night. You have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful Sunday. Have a wonderful beginning of a week, Kara. And I hope to see you again. I hope to see. Sometimes I pop into chats, so I've been getting better about making my rounds again. So you might see me wandering around. Have a wonderful night. Bye. Bye. Thank you. You hugs to you, hon. You take care of yourself. And hopefully we'll see you on the flip side somewhere. That's my new thing now. The flip side. See you on the flip side. I made that my tag now. I don't know why. It's funny. I heard another YouTuber saying, hey, that's mine. No, it's actually, I was kind of shocked because I thought I was the one that said things like that. See you on side B, as I used to say. Have a wonderful one. Yeah, Kara's a sweet lady. It was great that she stopped, and I'm glad she did. I hope she comes back. I hope you come back to see Gemma. She would get a kick out of seeing you. You guys are so nice. I tell you what, people give chats a hard time. But I would say a majority of the chats that I go in, people are awesome. People here and Gemma's chats, awesome. Well, some of the best. To be honest. I mean, yeah, we have issues once in a while, but you guys are the best. And you're super great people. At least here you are. I don't know what you like outside this place of the info zone, but I'm so proud to know all of you. I'm so happy to know all of you and honored that you guys come in and at least hang out with me. I think that's nice. It's good therapy too. I know there's times I'm hard to understand and I get a little fidgety or I look like I'm upset, but I'm not. I'm happy. Just my body giving me a hard time. It's okay to be nice. Yes, it is okay to be nice. So I try not to be as little as possible. Most people will tell you I'm definitely a Virgo. I can be a pain in the butt when I want to be. It's only because I want the best. Not just for myself, but for everybody else. More for everybody else. I'm good. And it's fun to be nice. But it's also fun to let the anger out once in a while, too. Just don't hurt anybody when you do it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Still no power at the house. And, Gemma didn't have power either, Latro. A Jersey got slammed. Hey, Ron, how you doing? I played the other part of that. I don't know if you knew. I played part 2 from last week. So when you watch the replay and you'll see the part 2 to the last week's show. But I hope you're good, Ron, unless you've been watching in the background. I believe you were the one that asked me to play part 2 to this, so I did. So it's on here. I'm glad you're well. I like watching Jim's videos. I need to start commenting more on his videos so he knows I'm watching them. But Jim's camera, just fun, nice little view videos. You get a kick out of them. Nice, relaxing. Yeah, I played that. You asked me to play the second part of it, so I did. just remember, because I know that everybody's out checking out other streamers, so I'm good with that. But anyways, yeah, just if you request something, pretty much I'm pretty good about sticking to it. So that's why I let you know that I did play the other half if you wanted to go back and watch it. It's only 22 minutes. It's not as long as the other one. It's basically Steve Stockton's encounter with the Black Eyed Kids, and then a couple other stories. Ron Forrest, Ron. Watch out, Ron. Smoochie's being flirty tonight. But yeah, I was going to go a little bit longer. What do we got? 2:30? I may go a little bit longer. I'm hanging out, having a good time anyway, so. I might go to 3. We'll see. I don't rush Saturday nights. I can't do the all-nighters doing Wednesday nights anymore, even though I'm up. Even after I stream and get off stream, I'm still up. But at least I get work done during the week while they're all asleep. That's why I only do a 2-hour stream pretty much on Wednesday nights now, because I got to get up and eat, and I never know what's going to go on with them. Yeah, I figured. I know you do, Ron, because you're always one of the first ones to leave a comment. You always beat me now, so I love that. Thank you so much, Ron. We appreciate that. We really do. Gemma does a lot, so. We do appreciate it. Aha. 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 And I'm feeling bad for Chris. Poor Chris being in the hospital 6 weeks. A month was long enough for me. But like I said, the last time I was in the hospital, the food was really good. But he says it's total crap. So I don't blame him. I've been in those hospitals too. And just for those who know, Edna's usually one of the people that are here in these late nights. She's vacationing at the beach. But I'm sure she'll sneak in. I was surprised she didn't try to sneak in on us. My new shift, I get out of work at 2:30, so I don't mind being up. Yeah. You got to set that body down. So I like that. So now we worked 3:30. No, yeah, 3:30 to 2:30. It was nice. I enjoyed it. And we had Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off, and I loved that. Especially when you got kids in sports, because then you were new on Friday nights, game nights, and Saturdays. I was functional. Yeah, you know what killed me, Mike, was when I worked third shift. It didn't bother me too much going to third shift because I'm up anyways. But when I went back to days, oh, dude, that did mess with me. It's bad enough I don't sleep as it is, but to rotate my schedule like that, all of a sudden it was just not really. Tomorrow, Sunday, see, we were gonna go do some running because we were down south most of the day today. Just running. Sundays I try to make Sundays my days. That's usually when I just sit around and try to get my paperwork done for doctors and stuff, and get my laundry and stuff done. But we're gonna do some running. It's really nice here. I mean, today was gorgeous. It was the perfect temperatures. Tomorrow's supposed to be in the 70s too. I've got no air on. The windows are open. It is nice here tonight, and it was nice here all day. It's supposed to be like this till Tuesday. So I'm just trying to do a little bit of everything while the weather's good. But I usually don't have too many plans. I stick pretty close to home because of Pops. Though I'm about due for a trip to Jersey. My mama's been asking for me, so. Good night, Smoochie. You have a sweet night and have a good day tomorrow. Get some rest, hon. I'm sure we'll see you on the flip side somewhere. Have a wonderful one, sweetie. Oh, you was doing nights not long ago. You were doing days. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember when you switched, when you said you were switching. Well, the only thing about summers in Ohio is too is they get muggy. It's kind of like Florida. It gets real humid and real muggy. But usually this is our hot time of the month. I mean, you should know that August is usually 80s, 90s at least. But today, I think it got up to 82. But it was so nice. No humidity, nice cool breeze blowing. Tomorrow we're only supposed to be in the 70s, I believe. Tomorrow, Monday, so it'll be great. I love temperatures between 55 and actually 65. That's my good spot right there. Anywhere between 55 and 65. And then I don't mind cold weather. I'd rather be cold than hot. Freezing. I love winter. I don't mind for winter at all. I love spring and fall. Only problem is those are my worst times of the allergies. Fire up that grill, go see. I probably will tomorrow. I think I probably will. The son's going to go take care of Mom's house while they go on vacation, so it's just going to be me and Pops. So I think I'm going to cook us up some steaks or something. Do the grill. Actually, I was thinking about doing burgers Monday. I mean, like I said, it's just me and him. So, and he, even though he's not eating as much, he'll pretty much eat whatever I feed him. But then again, that's a Marine for you. Set it down in front of him and it's gone. But now he's going to start flashing hamburgers and hot dogs. Now everybody will be hungry now. I ate pizza. I ate a pizza. I had pizza the other night. I love my pizza. But sometimes I eat pizza too much. I have to take a break for a while. Nothing wrong with hamburgers and hot dogs. Not one bit. I don't mind hot dogs, but I'd rather have a brat. I would prefer a brat. I love hot dogs, but I would prefer a brat. So you get the hamburgers and brats going. Now we're talking for sure. Get some good corn on the cob. Put that on the grill too. GT spell check. And dude, you're not half as bad as I can be. Yeah, I love a good brat. In fact, was it 2 weeks ago? We had hamburger and brats and hot dogs. I made all of it. I went for the bango. But anyways, I boiled the brats and beer. I hadn't done that for a while. I forgot how good it makes it. Buying the beer brats is all right, but it's better to do it yourself. With cheese. I put cheese on just about everything. Just about everything. I love cheese. I love bread. Oh man, I'm one of those guys. I'm always checking out the breads. Texas barbecue sounds good. The problem is last time I tried to do a brisket, didn't turn out very good. I have special friends to do those things for me. They're better at it than I am. Now give me a T-bone steak, and we're cooking steaks because I used to do that for a living, was cook steaks. Brats with raw onions and mustard. Now I don't mind onions, but that all sounds good to me. Now back to food again. Cindy, we're back to the food channel again. Cindy Lee. It's all about time. It's always about time. But this time I didn't start this food conversation. No, you didn't. You did not start it. That's okay. We're not blaming you this time. Mike started it with Get on the Grill. Yeah, I probably will. That does actually sound good. Maybe I'll get some hamburgers. Make some hamburgers and go get some brats tomorrow. My dad, he loves Phillies. So him and Giles, I'm not a Philly guy. I don't mind him. I'm just not a Philly guy. But him and my son, you'd ask where you want to go to eat, and they'll go, Phillies, get us a couple of cheesesteaks. And we have a Jersey to Mike's up the street. So I tell Gemma, hey, I'm going to Jersey. Yeah, it's likely my fault. It's all right. No problem. I've taken the blame too a couple of times, Mike, about talking about food. I think one night we got on here, we started talking about movies. That was just during chat. We got talking about movies, then we switched to food. Then we got to talking about comics. Then we switched back to food. Then we got talking about some paranormal stuff and some religious stuff. Then we got back to food. So food always seems to come back one way or the other. What's your favorite YouTube channel apart from Gemma's? You knew I was going to say Gemma because she's my boss. I call her my boss, but she. Who would be my favorite? I have a lot, but there's a couple I do watch religiously. I like Salty Cracker, only because he's hilarious for the new stuff. As for paranormal stuff, I like watching. I can't pick one. I do like what's his name? Shoot. I can't think of his name. Trying to think of his name. I would say, but my favorite channel would probably be not other than Gemma's. I like Woodward TV. It would probably be my favorite channel because the guy's smart. He digs into a lot of the stuff that I like to research and stuff. He's wicked smart. He's not, he talks a lot about other channels, but he talks a lot of subjects that I like. But Woodward TV is one of my favorites. Probably would say my big favorite. I'd say my two favorite channels is Woodward TV and Beyond Creepy. That guy on Beyond Creepy, he digs for the best encounters. Yeah, I have gone to his channels and heard encounters that I haven't never heard before. So, and he's been around for a while and he's good. So yeah, I would say probably those two are the ones I catch the most. When they post, I make sure and then Everything Inside Me, only because a lot of the stuff that he uses, he takes from Telegraph. And I used to do a lot of research for people over at Telegraph. So some of my research actually shows up on his channel, which is actually happening right now. The stuff he's doing right now is actually taken from some of my research that I've done for other people. Mr. Nightmare's okay. I don't mind his stuff. I like his educations because I love the memes. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Dark Sea, Dark Footage, Dark Space. What was the other one? Dark Docs. This is all run by one channel, and it's a lot of it's military stuff and war strategy and history on war and stuff. Great channels. Dark Matter is one of his channels. Yes. Yeah, I love their stuff. They're one of my favorites. I catch everything they put out. I try to catch. And if I don't catch it on the day it comes out, I will go back and watch it. I've been a big follower of Mr. GG for a while. Dark 5. Like I said, all the darks except for one are all pretty much run by the same people. I like Nick Crowley. Darkest Secret, she's really good because she gets a lot of the stuff overseas that you don't see here, that you literally have to go to like YouTube Mexico or YouTube Brazil to see. She's really good about getting good new. She goes over old stuff, but she also seems to have a lot of stuff that people actually steal from her. She's really good on the paranormal stuff. Like the Quartering, Sling and Stone. Trying to think of anybody else. There's a couple guys that Lao Y86, and there's another guy I watch. They used to actually travel China together, and they're back here in the States, and they kind of fill you in on what's going on in China, the craziness that goes on there. I like Airless because he does a lot of Reddit stuff, and he's pretty funny. Serpent Design, who does tanks and stuff. He designs tanks, like fish tanks, aquariums, terrariums. His stuff is amazing. Yes, that's who I'm talking about. Serpent. I can never say his name because of my problem. But yeah, those I watch them too, Latro. Those are the two I'm talking about. Yeah, they're fantastic. I followed them for a long time too. But they're always a good watch, especially if you want to learn about China. Watch those two guys. And go back and watch some of the older stuff too, and you understand why they talk the way they do now. Yes, Education and Deed Channel, they're brothers, yeah. It's almost a requirement. If you watch Zed, you got to watch Deed. His book is really too, if you want to read a good book too, Mike, Zed's book is really good. Trailer Park. It's kind of touching, Kid's been, the guy's, worked his way up. He should be proud where he is now. But yeah, it's a good book. You should check it. If you don't know about it, go, I'm sure you've seen Mavi, you know the channel. So yeah, get the book. It's good. It's really good. I was really pleased. Like, wow, this is a good book. Yes, I haven't read the 2 new ones yet. I haven't gotten them yet. And the other ones I haven't got, but I got them on Kindle. I don't want to do. I gotta hold the books, so I'm not gonna get the Kindles for these. I'm gonna actually get the books, and then I gotta order the books that I missed that I have on Kindle. But I have most of her books, just not the last 3 or 4. I'm missing one of the Gones. Wait, 4, yeah, because I'm missing Gone 2, the second Black Eyed Kid one, Midnight Stories. Oh man, I need more than that because I also need the first 2 of all the campfires. I got Sid, but I have them all on Kindle. But I want the books. What I'll do is I get them and I have the books shipped to her, and she signs them for me, and then she ships them. Then I give her the money to ship them to me. Friend Almond here. Oh, really? Yeah, it is. China's in bad shape. They put on, well, the military's in good shape, but everything else is crap. Heck, they're dropping rockets on their own people. Their own space waste is falling on their own cities. They don't care. All they want to do is cover it up. Oh, you haven't seen Zed's book yet? I highly suggest it. It's a good book. If you want a good read, I love Gemma's reads, but if you want to read something other than paranormal, it's a good book. It's a good climb to the top story. Yeah, another taxi driver, tank driver. I don't know. Yeah, you'd like it. It's a good book. I loved it. Actually, my son's got it upstairs reading it. Chink in the armor. I'll tell you what, their electric cars, they're literally blowing up in the middle of the street. No, catching on fire. Family died in one because they couldn't get out of the cars. The doors locked on them. Somebody says, "Oh yeah, they look scary," but somebody says they're military. Their actual arms and guns that they fall apart. This is if they plan on going to war with anybody, they fix all that stuff. I mean, because the product we get from them, you see what the product we get from them is. It's crap. Most of it. Temu is nothing but Chinese crap. I mean, you get some good deals. I'm not knocking me, but it's not with Temu. It's not about the product. It's about what they do when you join that app. They spy on you. They immediately take all that information. But I'm not lying. You can get good deals on Temu. It's just, what do you want to sacrifice for that? They gave him crap because he was in. Yes. Oh man, the electric bikes. One guy took the battery into. Oh, you saw that too? With, I don't know if people saw that. This guy, yeah, he they have electric bikes here like we do here, and the battery's real long. He's going in for the day, and he's carrying the battery with him. He climbs in an elevator, the door shuts, and it explodes on him. I've actually seen the footage. He was crispy, dude. He was still alive, but he was crispy. I'm sure he's not. Yeah, he's dead. He passed. But yeah, he was crispy. I mean, it literally fried him. I mean, what do? You're stuck in the elevator. I mean, it happened as soon as that door closed. You probably couldn't even hit the button fast enough. Oh yeah, there's footage out there, Nightmare, if you look for it. This man, battery bad with man in China. Yeah, if you see the video, it's rough. It is rough. I mean, he was just standing there, and all of a sudden he kind of looks at it, and all of a sudden, it's one big fireball. I got a Bigfoot shirt on Temu for like, yeah, $9. Yeah, Gemma orders from Temu all the time. Temu is just like everybody else. They're both owned by China. There he is. Hello, Ralph. Let me read what you wrote. Just woke up to fill a cup and bottle. Looked at my phone before laying down. Hey, I told him that you come in here just to listen to me put you to sleep. Good night, Ralph. You have a wonderful day Sunday, okay? Take care of that family. Get those little ones back to sleep. You have a good week too, sir. Night. It's always good when you pop in here. You can leave me on the background. I'm sure I'll put you to sleep. I'm getting ready to sign off here soon anyway, so. What time is it? It's probably after 3 now. Almost 3. I'll probably call it at 3, folks. 3 hours is good. I can do 3 hours. Actually, I could probably do longer than that, but I'm starting to get antsy. The chair's starting to get to me. I actually thought about putting it where I could stand up. It'd probably help a little bit so I could stand up every so often. I notice a lot more YouTubers are doing that. And actually, it's actually a good thing to do. Yes, wow, for you, be blessed. You have a good weekend. Rest of the weekend. A lot of love for that family. Yeah, he's another one I need to do something special with. I'm sorry. I thought I saw something move behind me. There you go, Ralph. Going around the blessings. I was surprised you popped in so late, Ralph. It was pretty funny because I did bring you up about how I told you how I put you to sleep. I was telling people how I put you to sleep. What Gemma to do? Yes, actually, Ron, we were talking about that the other day, just before Oracles last night. She's going to redo some of the older ones. That's what she wants to do, kind of update them and do them. She's just trying to get little man back in school, and then she'll be able to, be a little bit more, get back to the rigor of things. And then hopefully next summer, they'll find a place for him to hang out during the summer days so she can get some work done and don't up each other's butt. There's nothing worse being stuck with a kid out in the middle of nowhere by yourself. You drive each other nuts fast. But yeah, I've told her we talked about that, and she's going to look into that and do some other stuff. A lot of reasons why she slowed down and really don't do a whole lot of that, Ron, is because of families. Some families don't mind you talking about that stuff, but she's had problems with people saying, even though she has a right to discuss it. Sometimes people come in and harass you. I don't want you talking about this. This is done, let it go. Even though she can't talk about it. I mean, it's public news. So, but yeah, that's one of the reasons why she kind of slowed down was she had a couple issues with a couple people on some of those stories. But yeah, we were talking about that. She's thinking, so she's going to try to work it up again because you liked it. Didn't I show one of them one night for Gemma's replays? I may show some of her older stuff too there because a lot of people like that stuff. She was good. She's good at that stuff too, not only with the paranormal stuff, but she really had the missing persons and cold cases and stuff like that. She had those down. Maybe do open line night where we can share our own stories. Yes, we are discussing that too. But if I do a show like that, I told Gemma if I do a show like that, I got to do it with two people. In other words, they're on screen. Hold on. Sorry, one of my allergy pills is wearing off. I'm getting all dry. That's why you see me doing this. My lips get dry. Ryan is kind of taking a break right now. He's had some things go on. That's why you haven't seen him on. He will be back. So a lot of the Ryan probably won't come back until Gemma comes back because he's got them things he's trying to take care of. Now, usually me and Ryan do a show on Thursday. I don't know. He may show up and do a show. I'm not going to, because everybody's got stuff going on. I'm not going to push him, but I probably will ask to see if he'll do one next Thursday with me. Since that's Pixie's day off. But right now, we're not pushing anything until Gemma can get back to more focus on this because it is Virginia. But yeah, Ryan is still around. He's just taking care of things. And he's trying to write a book too. Hold on. Goodness, Stephen. Right, I'm so sorry about that, folks. My nose is dripping. I'm trying not to drip nose on you. But yeah, Ryan will be back. Everybody kind of Gemma, like I said, with her kid being out for school, and they didn't get enlisted him in fast enough to replace. So that's why he was home all summer. But she will be back full strength with some new ideas too. About the second week of September. Yes, I know a lot of people like Ryan than they like me. I get it. And that's all right. Because Ryan is smart and he's got it together. So I get it. I told Gemma, I like Ryan better than me, but it's not true. Ryan's a good guy. I like Ryan. So yes, he is smart. He's got it together. He is in training. Despite what some things are going on in him, that guy, he's got knowledge, and he's actually talked, to the tribes and stuff. So it's always good to have Ryan around. When he's here, he's the guy that says what I'm thinking, though he has more knowledge on top of it. So, because I can't always get the words out. So it was nice to have somebody around, even though he had more knowledge on a lot of things that I didn't have. A lot of times he does end up saying what I'm thinking, which makes it nice. And he is. He's incredibly entertaining. He's knowledgeable. And then I'm really hoping he gets his books done, because those are two books. That's a book I do want to read. I believe he's doing the Wendigo first, and then he'll do one on Skinwalkers. But I believe he's doing the Wendigo book first. Yes, he is very knowledgeable. Yes, I give him a lot of respect. My problem is over the years, my issues have gotten so bad. It does. I think things, I want to say it, that come out. I want to answer questions. It always comes out like I want to, or I'm so mumbled up in my talking. I always confuse between Wendigo and a Skinwalker. Just remember, Wendigo is like a curse. It's like an entity. It's like a demon that possesses a person for eating another person or something like that. Skinwalker is a medicine man, shaman, who turned to dark magic. And they usually have to take a life. It usually has to be a loved one or someone they know. They have to take their lives to gain that power. Skinwalkers are prevalent around the Four Sacred Mountains. Don't ask me to name the mountains. I know there's one in Arizona, right? And there's one in either Texas and New Mexico, but they're scattered. Also, the Skinwalker is mostly a Navajo and some of those smaller tribes around that area thing. So remember, Wendigo, entity, demon, possessor, Skinwalker, man turned sour, went to evil deeds. Simple as that. Isn't a Skinwalker also a curse? No, usually a Skinwalker becomes a Skinwalker. It's not like a werewolf or something. I have seen about Skinwalker Ranch. Yeah, well, true Skinwalker is a witch doctor, a shaman, however you want to put it. And you have to do certain spells, black magic, dark magic spells. And then on top of that, you have to give a sacrifice. And it has to be somebody either you love or know well. Actually, Vixen, the Vixen has hurt. She actually had to deal with one, and it almost took her life. And she got away fast enough, and moved away, got away fast enough that it didn't happen. But yeah, they're two different entities, and Skinwalkers are not just anybody. Now, there is different types of people, entities who can change their appearance to animals, between human and animals. But yeah, Skinwalker, that's what drives me nuts about these top 10s. They're not specific. Everything is either a Wendigo or a Skinwalker. Both can also be confused with a pale crawler, especially a Wendigo. Because, I've learned Wendigo basically looks like a paracrawler after what you become. This is when I wish Ryan Verk, like I said, he's better at describing and descriptive. But yeah, those are the difference. Wendigo's an entity, and you hear more about Wendigos North Canada, Northern Territories. I would say in the northern states too. Not saying that Wendigos can't happen here, but it's more prevalent up there. The lore is more prevalent up north. Skinwalkers is more of a Navajo thing and tribe thing in that area. Is the other thing. There you go. From South Dakota. Okay, yeah. Do you know the names you're doing, but I know who they are, I know what they are and where they are, and the difference between them. Unfortunately, my time researching was spent a lot with biblical stuff, history, because I'm really big about the forbidden history, the history that they don't tell us about, the history they try to hide. What'd you do? Go look it up. But yeah, basically, yes. And it's not you. Wendigo is, it is a mythological cannibalistic monster, but it's created by cannibalism. You got to understand that it's kind of like the Navajo. That's like skinwalkers. The priest or the shaman has to kill. I gotta watch what I say because I'm in trouble. They have to make somebody pass in order for them to help gain the power. That's like one of the last things on the list to do is a human sacrifice. And Wendigos, it's usually you're starving to death, you eat somebody, and then a Wendigo possesses you. Is most of the stories that I've heard. Or you're locked up in the woods and you just become possessed by this thing. A lot of them consider the Wendigo a spirit of the forests. Believe that some spirit-like creature, but it seems more me they are talking about skinwalkers. Well, there's different. See, it's the thing. There's so many names for different things, and then they all kind of intersect each other. So I kind of agree with that. See, now Ryan, this is when I wish Ryan, because he's got it down. But I've always taken it over the years that when I've run across this stuff that, yeah. And most of the Navajo, it's a priest or priestess that turns dark, starts practicing dark medicine because it's dark medicine. I'm talking some of the darkest stuff. You have to be delving deep darkness to do what they do to become a skinwalker. Now there are entities out there and things I believe that can change from human to animal. The Fae can do it too. The Fae can fool you. There are some Fae that will disguise themselves as animals, even as people. There's other entities out there that do the same, that lure you in by changing their appearance, being a child or a cat or a dog. It's like all these videos I see now with these dogs and these animals, like the dogs sitting on the steps and stuff. Oh, that's a skinwalker. Or maybe that's something pets have always been able to do, and they've hidden it all these years because they were told to. Have I ever seen a skinwalker? No. And I don't think I would ever see a skinwalker unless I went to like Arizona or around one of the four sacred mountains, because that's where the strongest magic at. is at with those things, is what I was always told. And that's even what Ryan has said. But no, I've never seen a skinwalker. I've seen bear crawlers. Maybe one of them might have been, maybe the things that I see that are not look like bear crawlers that people call rakes, that I now don't call rake anymore. I only called them rake was because the creepypasta kind of fit into what I was seeing. But I think these might even be wendigos. Now, I can see wendigos being down in the States. It's, you starve, you get hungry, you eat somebody, and then you're possessed. I mean, who knows? All of it's theory anyways. Would love to fly rockets with Travis. Yeah, the Superstition Mountains are one of them, yes. I always wanted to go there anyways, just from the stories I've heard from that place. People going in there never coming out, or people coming out never the same. That just piques my interest. It's like for years, I dream of, and I still do every so often, dream about Skinwalker Ranch. It's like for some reason I feel like I've been there before, and I haven't. But there are times that I feel like I've been there before. Or at Skinwalker Mountains and Superstition Mount Ranch. Sorry, in Superstition Mountains, just I believe there's porters there, and I do at Skinwalker Ranch. I think there's a lot there. Porters in a lot of places. These staircases out in the middle of the woods, I think they're portals too. So some people see them. I've run into them. I've run into a set not too long ago, a few moons back, right here on the old Tangy River. We went back. It was there. We went back twice and it was there, and it kind of wrapped around a tree. We went back again. It was gone. We don't know who took it down, what was the deal with it. It was weird. Never made a big deal out of it because it was just one of those odd things. And then everybody started talking about stairs in the woods. And I've seen stairs in the woods. Just reading anything. Now, Brian says you don't want to see that stuff. But see, that's the thing. It's like Edna gives me a hard time. I'm one of those guys that would whistle in the woods to see what happened. I'm one of those guys that would chase the voice that called my name. I got to know. I just got to know. Yeah, the Sherman family is a very odd one, and it's pretty old. I mean, that was been around for a while. That area, anyways. Now, the show Skinwalker Ranch is kind of a joke. They're never going to give you answers. They're going to play you up to think that you're going to get answers, but you'll never get answers. I mean, look how long they've been working on Treasure Island there, that island they've been digging up, trying to get that gold. Until that seventh person passes, they ain't getting that gold. I think the Skinwalker Ranch is kind of the same thing until they stop playing games and making a show out of it. They're not going to get the real answers. And they're not going to tell you if they do get real answers. I think the show is real. I think some of the stuff that happens on the show is real. Not all of it. I think they play some of it up. They dramatize it. Just like these ghost shows now. You would believe a lot of people still get mad because they're just now realizing that Ghost Adventures, Zach's, he's faked a lot of his stuff. You got to keep ratings up. People don't understand. You go ghost hunting, you don't find something the first time you're there. It takes weeks, sometimes months before you get anything. So a lot of these shows amp things up a little bit to keep it steady. So that's why I don't like a lot of those shows on TV anymore anyways, because you don't get that real feeling. And it's like Gemma talks about and a number of other people. These people freak out as they do talk the talk, but as soon as they get something, then they freak out. What do you think of the book The Ghost? You're not going to get that ghost to answer you back, or he's going to piss him off, and then you wonder why you got somebody stalking you. Yes, and it is kind of a mockery of them. You do get that impression. I agree with that, Ron, very much. Um, and the thing is, some of the people on that show and on these shows, because there's other shows like that are legit knowledgeable people. But once again, who really runs our channels and our shows? They're not going to let you know anything they don't want you to know. They're going to only show you what they want to show you. So yeah, you may be seeing stuff on there that might be legit, and some of that stuff I've watched on that show probably is very legit. You know, it's like the Bigfoot shows. These guys out hunting for, the monster men, the monster guys from the hills. They kind of made a mockery of it themselves, and they wondered why they were losing viewers. It's because they started making a show, not like a discovery or let's go find these things. They kind of made it as a kind of a television show and got a little carried away with some stuff. A lot of those guys, I mean, they have to be out there for months to even see it or hear anything. Then again, the Bigfoot stuff, I don't know, it's because we're stirring things up. I think you're going to start seeing a lot more paranormal, period. There's another ranch show on Travel. Yeah, talk about dragons. They talked about dragons, but we never seen them on video. I know which one they're talking about because there's two kind of like Skinwalker ones. I believe the one is north of there. And if anybody's in chat that knows what we're talking about, please help. Because I can't think of the place where it's at, but I believe it's up north. They've had all kinds of weird shit. So it wouldn't surprise me if dragons came up. There's a very interesting, a lot of people think it's fake, but I've actually seen the original footage and the whole thing. There's a old video of footage taken in China out in, China's big. I mean, it's just as big as Russia. And, they're big and a lot of untouched land. And they're up in these mountains. And this guy films, all of a sudden comes out behind one mountain and goes to another side, and behind another mountain, you watch a dragon. And that's what it is. It's a dragon. And it's flying. And it goes and it disappears behind another mountain. I've seen that video so many times. Finally got to see the whole footage. And what happens is he scans, they're talking, and he's just kind of showing you the land. And then all of a sudden it comes out of nowhere. At first I thought it was CGI, so I had to watch it and really scope things out. I think it's legit. And this is not the only time that large bat-like creatures have been seen in our skies. And I think that I think you're going to start hearing more about the Thunderbirds too. Because people are seeing large birds way up in the sky. Huge birds. Horseshoe Ranch. Okay. Yeah, I believe it's north of there. I had to stop watching those shows. I loved Skinwalker Ranch when it first came on. And then some things went down on the show that kind of made me go, you lost me, dudes. You lost me. Maybe it'll be one of those shows you actually get an answer, but I don't think so. You got to remember who owned the ranch. Well, pretty much ran the ranch before these guys took over. That one space guy. No, I can't think of it. See, this is why I have a hard time doing this by myself, because I have the name of the guy and the company in the head of my nose, top of my head, and I can't think of it. Well, it's 3:15, and I went over my time. I hate to cut this short, especially when we're having a good conversation. But all I can say about those shows to end with this, on these shows, it's Skinwalker Ranch, a lot of these shows you see on television, take them from what they're worth. They're releasing little. It's kind of like what they did with the UFO thing. Oh, we're going to give you disclosure. You're never going to get total disclosure until it happens right in front of everybody. Same thing with these shows. They are releasing. There is things in those shows that are legit. I truly believe they are legit from the knowledge that I've gathered. But they do play things up on these shows. So just, be careful what you take too seriously. Kind of keep it open mind. Remember, these are shows. I mean, History Channel and Discovery Channel have been really good about making these mockumentaries, like about the mermaids. Yeah, they tell people it's a fake show, but a lot of times it's just a quick little flash, and a lot of people never see those, so they turn it on and go, what's going on? You know how many people thought that stupid mermaid thing was real? Though they did a pretty good job of making it seem real. So, yeah, take that stuff for what it's worth. Make sure you check them out. If you like a show, check it out. But also check it out. Yep, I think I'm going to go for the night because I'm getting rambly and getting antsy. Thank you so much, folks, for joining me tonight and hanging. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I don't know what I'm doing next week. Usually during the week I scroll through and get a couple ideas, but Ron had requested part 2, so I did. Folks, have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful start to your Sunday, which is now. So I hope it was a good start. Have a wonderful beginning of the week. I will see you folks Wednesday at midnight for a spooky time. I'm actually going through more stories now, so hopefully I get some good ones. Like I said, I try to give the ones I can give details to, I give details to. But most of them are just little quirks of what happened here, what happened there. But there's some good ones where I can give really good details, like I did with the black-eyed kid, with the demon, the hat man. There are stories like that I have that I can give a lot more details to. So hope you'll join me for those on Wednesday night and still with the chat. I mean, you guys did a pretty good job chatting when I was telling the stuff. So awesome. So see you Wednesday night at midnight. If anything goes on, I'm sure one of us, me or Gemma, will let you know. Have a happy one. Much love to you all. And I'll see you guys on the